Good evening. Uh-oh, it looks like we're going to have trouble again tonight with the camera. I might just have to take it off. Yeah, I might have to take it off, guys. I don't know what happened. Anyway, what's up, guys? Good to see everybody. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Let me fix the chat. Camera's gone. It is what it is. We're going to get rid of it. All right, we're getting rid of it. Sorry, y'all. Just know that I'm here. You know, it has a mind of its own. You know what I mean? Welcome, guys. I'm Justin. This is the Ivy League live stream. We're going to we're going to go over some data. We're going to go over charts, more importantly, and I'm going to stick to the charts tonight. We have a few things that I want to go over because I think this week is going to be a hell of a volatile week. All right, we have a lot of data. You have earnings. All right, you have some Asia market earnings that you want to pay attention to. You have gold. We talked about gold last week. All right, so I'm going to cover that. We have Powell. All right, ISM. All right, ISM data. So I'm going to start off with, and I'm going to try to finish off with this, is that we play two games, right? We play a game with ourselves, and we play the game with the market. So if you're new, first I would ask you to type in any question or anything you're wondering, whether it's about a stock, about your trading, something you can get better at. What are you going to get into this month that you want to fix? I want more than just I want to be green. All right, because I have something that I want to fix, and what I want to fix this month is when I see something that I stick to it, right? And I don't let it go. And it's a little easy to say that, but it's been quite a few times now that I've just seen things and I haven't done something to continuously put it in front of my face to remind me day in and day out, morning, lunch, and afternoon to watch. Okay, Wednesday, I talked about gold because I've been keeping my eye on it, right? I've been keeping my eye on gold, and we'll just run over to GLD here. And she was hanging out at this 50-day, and I was kind of waiting for her to make up her mind, right? Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. It was this day. It was like an inside-out day. And I'm like, and I think it might have been Thursday because we got that gap up, right? And you can see how gold just pulls right into this prior resistance. Kind of, it's GLD, so she's going to gap, whatever's, with GLG, it's a little, you have to understand, the weighting and how GLD, operates. But, if gold futures, gold's going up, GLD for the most part will go up. Maybe not as much as far as the percentage wise, but either way, if gold's going up or down, GLD is going to go up or down. All right. So I mentioned Wednesday or Thursday, and I'm pretty sure it might have been with the gap up or Wednesday. I'm like, man, this thing's sticking the 50-day right now. And it's just hanging out nice and tight. Like, are we going to go top? Are we going to go test the top end of this consolidation? Or are we going to go test the bottom end of the consolidation and start to make a move here? Now, if you see this line that we have here, this white line has been... Now, it may be a little bit moved because I may have done it on an hourly chart or whatever. And there may be some after-hour things going on that doesn't really have this correct. But you can see here, right, no matter how you want to put this, whether you want to cut the tail a little bit and go with the closes. All right, I don't know why she's moving completely. So if I go with the close, right here, and then I stick it with the close from there, you've clearly broken out. So no matter how you put it, wick to wick, close to close, however you want to do it, I like to stay pretty neutral when I do trend lines. I like to use wicks, and I'll stay with the wicks just because price action has went there, obviously, and reversed. So that's a point of an area that I want to, put in. Now, for the most part, it's not going to be to the penny when you do these type of things, but you catch the drift, right? It's started to break out now. So my goal, this month and next month is when I see something, especially, and I say this about really anything, especially with gold, I was always taught to, you want to be on it when nobody's talking about it, right? That's when the buying or selling or shorting, is really when you want to be on these things. And nobody was really talking about gold early in the week, right? But I mentioned it Wednesday. It was either Wednesday or Thursday. And I noticed how it was holding this 50-day. And it was like, you know, when you see this price action where it doesn't move and you're in the middle of a consolidation, it's like, okay, are we getting ready to go test the top end? Are we going to break down? Like 20 days curling up, it's flat and curling up. The 90 MA, obviously, with the consolidation, it felt like it got to a point where, all right, this thing's either going to go test the top end of that range, which would be some nice money, or the bottom end of the range. I mean, if we look here, and I don't want to spend a bunch of time on this, but if you look, I mean, technically, no matter how you put it, I mean, really the trade looks to be to the upside. You know, I'd put it there, and then maybe we put one like right there, right? So either way, you know, you got a little bit of a movement there. Look at that. That's with volume. End of the month or beginning of the month, I guess you could say, because it was the 1st of March, I want to say. Yeah, it's the 1st of March. So that's that. So that's my goal, right? When I see something, I remember I was talking about transports a few months ago, and I think it might have been UPS, when UPS ended up breaking down, right? It was this week right here, right? And it's like, yeah, it's made a move. You might want to watch, but look what it did for us. Just huge. We called this out. We called it out to see if we could break that, and it did. I actually remember, if you guys remember on that live stream, I told you guys, I had somebody that ended up taking it, emailed me, and it was a huge move. Those contracts, I think you could have, it was like, when I went back and looked at the pricing, you know, from high to low, it was like $100, $150 to $1,400. You know, it was 1,000, you know, 1,100%er there. If not more, you know, and that was your range. Not saying you would have bought or you know, got short at the very top or the very bottom, but that's a huge, you know, that's what we're looking for too. When we go into these streams, NASCAR, good to see it, bro. I'm going to get into your question real quick, but when we start to trade this week, my focus is going to be what is going to give me the best risk to reward. Like, if it's in an area of a consolidation, chances are it's not going to move much for me. Okay, it's either like if it's stuck in a consolidation, is that consolidation at the top of the range, like, you know, like gold, right? Is it at the top of the range and I got a decent amount of move to the downside? But you have to remember, if it's sat there for an important, you know, if it's been in that area, like I'm going to give you the perfect example of why I'm not watching. I'm going to keep my eye on it, but Apple. Okay, Apple is in an area where it's even if it breaks this level here, right? It's already broken 180. We've been talking about 180 for like 3 weeks now since their earnings, if not a month, right? Yeah, pretty much a month. We were long this day. So we said we're going to watch for the break of this level. It finally broke. Now, look how the price action isn't doing anything. It's not giving you, it's moving like $2, right? You had a nice rip there off of that AI news and the automotive news, but other than that, you know, it's not giving you movement because this is an area where there are a ton of buyers and sellers. And this is the game, right? The game you're going to play with yourself and the game that is the market that we're playing. So understand, this week, this month, and the rest of your trading career, always keep in mind, does this have enough room? Does this have anything in the way to stop this thing from moving in a decent amount of time? Even if you're talking about a swing trade, think about if you went and got short Apple. Okay, you would have made money here. All right, you'd have made money on the down move off of the 50-day, even though I don't have it there because that's actually what we wanted to do, but we had the gap down, and I thought I missed it and was hoping for a bounce back, but that's irrelevant. Okay, that was your move, right? What you have done nothing. So if you've been trying to get that second leg downside, maybe you start to get it now. But chances are, even if it starts to go, it may not give you much because it's going to bounce back up higher and then go lower and then go higher and then go lower. But, you know, towards the downside. I just don't think Apple has unless there is news, right? Unless there is news, I don't think, in my opinion, that Apple has like this like real nice momentum, right? And that's what I'm talking about is momentum. I don't think it has a momentum type of move, in my opinion, unless you get some type of news. Now look at this. Here's the volume profile. You see this whole area here? right here is where I'm looking. Look at that. Look at all that volume. Look at all that volume. So when it starts to make new lows, you're just going to be met with buying pressure. And then that buying pressure is going to be met with selling pressure. And then buying pressure. And then selling pressure. So you're not really going to get chances, unless there's no, like if there is no news again. And again, this is a probability, right? This doesn't mean that it can't, even with no news, just, do one of these, right? Just out of nowhere. For no reason, no news, nothing. It could still do that. But I think the probability of that is slim to none, in my opinion. All right? I would love to try and play this thing to the downside. I'd have to give myself a lot of time here, and I would have to, obviously, try to get another bounce back up into that 182, 180, 150, 180, 175 area, right? 180, maybe. But still, you guys feel what I'm saying? So when we go through these charts tonight, and we set up plays, let's focus on the ones that have one, liquidity, two, news or earnings or some type of catalyst, whether it's a technical setup, and that news or technical setup can lead us to a move that doesn't have much in our way to get to the destination. All right, I'm going to bring up one real quick. What's up, guys? It's so good to see everybody. I missed you guys. Marvell. Look at Marvell. If Marvell, look, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is a name I may want to look at. Why is that? Because we have nothing in this box here, in my opinion, that's going to hold us back from either going higher. Now, lower is a little bit tougher. But look, we have like nothing. So if we get a pullback to $75, I'm sorry, 75, we have nothing stopping us to $85. Other than a small little bit of support and resistance level up here at 82. This is an idea I have. They have earnings, though, so you have to watch. That's the downside to this trade, is that premiums may be a little jacked up. All right, so you have to understand they have earnings, I think, on Thursday. All right, going into the end of the week. But look, there's nothing. There's no price action here, right? There's no buying or selling in this area. So this would be an ideal setup for me if they didn't have earnings. Because now the implied volatility, like we're going to have to pay up for those contracts. All right. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This would be a good trade. Apple. Now, again, if you're just joining us, Marvell has earnings on Thursday. So the volatility, you're going to be paying more in premium. Okay. Because they do have earnings. So if you're new, understand what I'm saying, that you're going to be paying a lot more for those options. And if it moves, you may not get paid because of the fact that they have earnings. 1 second. Let me delete it. Delete. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. What's up? Deontay, what's up, my bro? I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Let me see if I can say this. I'm pretty good with pronouncing everyone's names. Uraj. Do I got that right? Apple. I just went over Apple real quick. I'll do it again, though. We've been talking about this for a month. What I would look for, look at the tails you're getting put in here. Nice. Good stuff. Good stuff, man. I would look to see if you get that 9 EMA right here. All right. It's oversold. We see that. I don't know. There's got to be some type of news. Hit that 9 EMA. See what you do there. Maybe it tries to recover and tries to go to that 200-day moving average. Okay. Me personally, the trade, I would love to get this thing to reject 180 and bring some sellers in. I just don't think anybody's going to sell Apple that quickly. You've seen how long it's just sat here in this ascending wedge or descending wedge, right? It's just been sitting in this thing, right? And look at that trend line, by the way. We can delete that one. We'll delete that one, but damn, maybe I would watch that trend line. That's what I would do. I'd put the trend line right there. Off of that rally from the earnings, or that wasn't from earnings. Hold on 1 second. Let me fix this. All right. Look at that trend line there. All right. And that's from that, like this head and shoulders that you have here. I'd like to see this thing roll over. I just don't know if you're going to, again, because of what I'm saying. You have so many buyers and sellers there that I don't think it's going to give you that continuation and the momentum you're looking for unless there is news. And you guys can see here, this green box, look, it went right to my level. right? And it bounced back. So, Apple, I would give Apple a little bit, right? I'd give it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, see what the market does. What I would say is if the market does decide to pull back a little bit, depending on Powell, you guys have to remember. So let's go into it because it's going to get into the markets. Up until Friday, okay? Other than Jay Powell testifying Wednesday, Thursday, the ISM data, we'll cover all that stuff tomorrow. But the government funding stops March 8th. So March 8th, the government has no money. So they have to get something done here. And if they don't, what does that do with, the market? Okay, so you got volatility from Powell, data, not so much earnings. You do have Target, which I'm going to cover the earnings. But understanding that March 8th, they have to get these bills passed. All right, they released them. Okay, if you guys go to CNBC, they did release them. All right, so they released 6 of the budgets that they want to do. So we have until the end of the week, okay, before the second funding. So Democratic and GOP leaders both touted their respective victories within the package, though they still have 6 other bills to negotiate before the second funding deadline in March 22nd. But it says here, congressional lawmakers released details of the first 6 budget bills needed to keep government agencies funded before they run out of money on Friday, March 8th. So March 8th or March 22. I don't know. It sounds like they can do whatever they want to do. All right. That's just my opinion. And this, so how does that play with the market if nothing's done by Friday? If the market starts pulling back, that's obviously could help Apple to the downside is what I'm getting at. All right. If the market's going to keep grinding higher, Apple's not going to fall out of bed. You need the market to pull back for this thing to fall out of bed. And I don't think it's going to fall out. I think it's just not going to give you what you want. It's just my opinion. I'm going to try the camera one more time, but I can tell you right now, it's probably going to give us problems. I don't understand why. It was working great all week. It is what it is, right? So, they're not saying that there isn't a trade there. You might just have to give yourself time and don't expect, in my opinion, don't expect this thing to just drop out of bed. I just don't think it will. Again, unless there's, unless you have news to help you out and the market really starts selling off, then that's what you would need. I would say the market selling off and news to really get Apple to start pulling back. All right, you don't have much going on here, but still, it's oversold. Each time it ticks lower, you're going to have buyers coming in. Appreciate you, Deontay. Have a good night, buddy. I'm getting right into everything. I appreciate you, bro. So, yeah, we have Powell testifying Wednesday, Thursday. One more thing, too, before I forget. Guys, watch MSOS. All right, I haven't looked at this in a little bit. Look at MSOS, matter of fact, looking at it right now. We're coming into this. This is always seems to be a play when we come into when we start coming into election. They talk about how they want to legalize weed. So could we get ourselves another double top here? All right, that's going to be something I'm going to put on my watch list, and I'm going to write it down right now because this is exactly what I'm talking about. What are you going to fix this week and this month? What do you want to fix? Please post it in chat, because what I want to do is when I see something, I want to not forget about it, like GLD, because we could already be taking profits on gold. Because I brought it up Wednesday, it was either Wednesday or Thursday of this past week before nobody was talking about it. And that's when you got to play some of these things. All right, so I'm writing it down right now. We're going right into charts, guys. Real quick, let me talk about 2 things. All right, this energy stuff. All right, this is just a headline. It could just get things started. Saudi Arabia, de facto leader, so they will extend its voluntary crude production cut of 1 million barrels per day. Russia will trim its production and export supplies by a combined 471,000 barrels per day. So, watch. Oh my gosh, I forgot. Oh man, you guys didn't tell me. Shit. And it's okay. It's not your prerogative to do so. Thank goodness. Okay. I hope that there wasn't talking behind me. Oh man, I completely forgot to do that. It's all good. You see what I mean? It's a one-man team here. So, real quick, can you guys hit that like button? Subscribe if you have not already subscribed. We do trade live Monday through Friday right here on this channel. If you guys have questions or new to trading, or even if you are a veteran, okay? We find a lot of opportunity. We make some solid trades. And we'll cover more. We'll get into a lot of that stuff. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and you could help us get there by subscribing. We're doing a giveaway. When we get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm doing a giveaway. So I'd hope you'd be a part of it. I think you guys are going to really like that. So we went through energy. We went through hitting the like button, subscribing. We brought up Powell, and we're going right into charts. The government needs funding. We did that. OPEC. All right, let's do it. Let's go right into earnings, and then we're going to go right into charts. So if you guys have anything you guys would like to put in the, you guys want to cover, throw it in the chat right now. If you have questions or, tickers that you guys want to bring up. Let's go to, and remember, MSO, guys. Look at that. That's a pretty nice setup. Look at that 50-day. Look, that could be really nice. Just, I'm going to let it show me that it's going to hold that 50-day moving average right there. Again, this is MSOS. All right, multinationals. So that would be a sick trade there, guys. Low volume pullback. Dude. All right, this is the stuff that we want to put ourselves in. Here's the other part to this, is it looks like we might already have a double top, but we're putting in higher lows. This is a pullback. This could be considered a double bottom. Bang, bang, right? A double bottom there. You don't have much, right? If we can just break through that prior high, I think we could have a trade on our hands here, guys. And maybe everybody's going to get wrapped up in the gold, and we could look at MSOS, right? I mean, honestly, this sounds crazy. But you don't have much stopping you to 14, and we're at $8 now. That's a 75% trade on the stock itself. It's going to take time for that, but I'm going to be looking at playing this. I might put on a swing trade for this, guys. I think you also have Super PAC coming up also for votes. Okay, maybe there's some implications with that. I haven't been up on the news really with this, so I don't know. Maybe there's some news that could come out. We'll see. I don't really like the volume that came in off of that. I'm going to keep it on watch. Sorry I didn't get a haircut and shave. I know I look like a mess, but look, it was beautiful where I was at, and I got a lot of stuff done around the house. Time flies, y'all. Time freaking flies. Earnings. Like and subscribe. I appreciate and love all of you guys. So, GitLab on Monday afternoon. These here see something. I'm not really worried about Avidel. I just haven't heard of them. I don't know how liquid they are. I'm going to cover them, right, Monday at open. But other than that, I can't really. See, this is why I shouldn't even fool with it. But, so, you know what? Let me try something real quick. And we're, nope. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's see if that did anything. If it does it again, I'm going to turn it off. All right, GitLab. I'm going to watch GTLB. I'm going to watch some of these. I think GTLB had a really nice move last earnings, or it was 2 earnings ago. Yeah. So they have earnings coming up, right? And they're sitting right at that support level at $70. Let's see what happens if it's going to be hard to say. I have to go over the earnings, and that's something we'll cover tomorrow. But they report Monday afternoon, so we'll have plenty of time to talk about this name. I'm going to keep it on watch. I'm going to keep GitLab on watch. I think, dude, this thing could be nice. I might even try a YOLO trade on this. If we can hold, it's going to be for a small amount. I want to see what this thing is going to do. All right, this thing is setting up pretty nice. If you do get some upside, let's see here. This thing could move $13, $15, you guys. And honestly, I think, that, yeah, I'm going to go with that. Damn near close to $20. Depending on their earnings, though. It could go the opposite, and it could pull back. Excuse me. So GTLB is going to be on my watch list. I'll talk about this tomorrow. Again, we trade live Monday through Friday right here. All right, you have a really nice support level here on GitLab, right here at $70. So that $70 is obviously an area I'm going to watch, and then that resistance up here at 74. Okay, so I want to see how it kind of closes and what happens. Maybe it doesn't really move tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. But, you know, downside, we'll have to see what it's pricing in at. Let's see what tomorrow when it opens up, what they're pricing in, and see if we can't get it. Last earnings, I mean, this thing went from 48 to the next day it opened up at 59. So that was a nice $10 move. All right, it was like 11, 12 bucks. So that's kind of what it's pricing in now. It looks like it's pricing in $13, up or down. All right, so that's GTLB. But let's stay on track here. So Tuesday morning, services, manufacturing, services PMI. All right, NEO earnings. We have earnings from NEO and Target Tuesday morning. Tuesday night, CrowdStrike and ChargePoint. All right, you can watch boxing. You know, you can watch them all if you want. But these are really, I'm going to watch CrowdStrike because there's a lot. You know, this sector has just been on a roll. All right, Palo Alto, they struggled a little bit with earnings, but you're seeing that from what I remember, that dip got bought. You know, they've just been going for the past year and a half. It's been like if you own these names, they've put in some work for you. Wholesale inventories Wednesday, JD.com, Abercrombie & Fitch, another monster right there, ANF. And I told you guys, Asian markets, JD.com. But they also are going in for a huge stimulus that they're meeting. So watch BABA, JD.com, Baidu, all those names, and just see how they trade with them talking about that new stimulus they're putting in. These are all ideas. There's a shit ton of opportunity out there. All over the place. You just have to know. You have to like focus on one or two things and let the market tell you what it's doing and go with the flow. Don't fight the rally and don't fight the short. Okay? Sorry, I got to turn this off because it's just being a pain in the ass every time I move. So I do apologize. All right. So Wednesday morning, JD.com, Abercrombie & Fitch, Foot Locker, Campbell Soup. Be a nice recession trade there. We'll see where that's at. Like Dollar General, that's another name that's been on its low. You know, if you start to see money move, okay, rotation, look at some of those names. Like Dollar General is a name that's like, you know, kind of on its lows. So if we get another rotation and recession scare, this thing might start to put in a look, right? I know that there's been some bad signs there, but look at the volume coming in. So it's just been on a roll right now. It's not going to give you 100. You know, it's not going to give you 100%. It could, all right, it could, but it's going to take a really long time for that to go from 150 to 300. You know, so keep your expectations in line. All right, you do have a little bit of resistance here on Dollar General, but it's going back up to fill the gap. So she looks like she's heading to 160. All right, they do have some earnings coming up on the 14th, but that was just an idea because of Campbell. So Victoria's Secret, Inovio, all right, BJ's on Thursday, initial jobless claims also. Unemployment rate, we have non-farm payrolls on Friday too, I forgot to mention. That's going to be a big day. Guys, this week's going to be volatile. So you need to be on your A game. Come join us while you're at work, wherever you are. Hop on YouTube, Ivy League Trading, YouTube.com. We're there. We're ready. We're getting game plans for earnings. We're going to have Powell live, so you can join us. We'll have Powell's testimony live right on the stream. It's going to be a fun week. I'm telling you right now. All right. So it's BJ's, Billy, Kroger, American Eagle, Burlington, Turo. Turo is lawnmowers coming into the season, so we'll see what they say. You know, with a lot of people cutting grass and the, more commercial side and stuff. There's been, at least where I'm at, I'm seeing them all over the place. So Costco, Marvell, we talked about Marvell up at that gap. That looks like a really solid trade We'll see what we'll see what they're pricing in and how much, those options are. Maybe I might buy the stock itself. It's, we'll see. Gap, Broadcom, semiconductor, right? This is a big semiconductor, Broadcom, if you don't know. DocuSign, going to be a fun one. I will probably be trading DocuSign if it gives it to me. So Costco, like, there's a lot to choose from. Have your choice. This is a buffet of opportunity. A buffet. Let's get right into it. Let's go to the SPY. All right. You guys can see we've just went higher and higher. Semiconductors have led us. Let's look at the monthly, okay, because we're in a new month here. Look at the monthly performance, guys. Look at that monthly performance. Amazon, 15%. NVIDIA, up 30%. TSM, 20%. AVGO, Broadcom, 20% nearly, 18.5%. Microsoft's only up 4%. Apple's down. Google, down. Meta, 28.75% on the month. Tesla, 8%. Toyota Motor Company. I've been saying how strong this stock has been. If you have been with us and joined us, I've been talking about Toyota Motor Company. They're up 23% on the month. On the month. Okay? So, understand how you guys should be looking at these. Obviously, semiconductors are leading us higher. But, understanding the ones that are paying you, the Metas, the Toyotas, the NVIDIAs, obviously. But what do you notice? Big cap tech is starting to not only go red or flatten out, it's going reds with Google, Apple, Microsoft nearly flat on the month, right? Take notice into that, because if they're selling those names, where is that money going? They're at highs. What's on their lows? I don't know, Dollar General. Like, they're going to just move that money somewhere. You got to know where they're moving that money to, and that is rotation. So this is a weak performance here. Google was down. We're going to cover all this. We're going to do it right now. So that's your 1 week performance there. NVIDIA was up nearly 4.5%, just under 4.5%. AMD with a whopping 15% move. Man, I should have hung out on that trade. I traded Tesla instead to the downside. Was still a solid trade, but AMD. So I said this all week, that AMD needed the market or some type of news. And guess what? It got the data, it got the market moving higher, and that's what it needed. For anybody that was there with us, I said it. I said it all week. I said, I'm not watching AMD until this market breaks out or breaks down. And that's all it took was, what was it? PPI? Not PPI. PCE. I think it was PCE. And it was PCE, because it wasn't until after GDP numbers. All right, what did I say also? Palo Alto. This whole sector is just been doing really well. Fortinet, Palantir, Palo Alto, and we're going to cover them. We're going to get into those. We're going to do it right now. UNH is down off of that news. I forget what that news was. So let's go right into the charts. Again, if you guys have questions, throw them in the chat. If you guys have tickers, throw them in the chat. Let's go right into it. So when I like to look at the SPY and the Qs and the indexes, I kind of want to paint the picture. What do I have this week? Oh my gosh, I didn't clean off the SPY. The only stock that I didn't clean up. So I like to look at what it is that we have. So obviously I can tell you right now, I would like to get us a little bit of a pullback to that double top there. All right, that double top sitting right there at 510, that 510 area. All right, high 509s. Let's go to a 30-minute chart. So this is this was a beautiful setup, guys. Nice double top, W bottom, a double V bottom, whatever you want to call it, just a W. Like they talked about this during COVID. For anybody that's new into the markets, they didn't know if we were going to get a V bottom, a W, how it was, like what we were going to do. And look at this. Right? You just get this really nice pullback right into that area. Bang. Right? I'm a little upset that I missed that trade. I missed it. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to get them all the time. But again, I'm kind of a perfectionist to an extent. Right? When it comes to, my entries. Because I know where I enter is where I make my money. It looked like we had an ascending wedge Friday. So keep watch on that if it tries to make this area resistance at 512. Or 513, 512.75. See if you try to see if we take back some of this move Monday going into Tuesday when we start coming into this data and coming into Powell. You know, I don't think you're going to get a market sell-off or anything crazy, but I think we will get volatility on the back of Powell's testimony here. So, you know, I got to clean these up, but, you know, I'm looking for pullbacks. All right, pullbacks to 510. Pullbacks to 510 in the SPY. So, there's a couple things going on here. One, I want to see if this works. All right, I got a measured move here just above 450. I want to see if this works for the Qs. Let's see if we get up to 452 this week. I want to see. It's like 1.5% from where we are. All right, the Qs, obviously, we want to get that pullback. And again, just it looks like the Qs are back in the lead. Is it safe to say that? The Qs are back in the lead. So if the Qs are leading us, whether it's to the upside or downside, take notice. Because whoever's in the lead, whether it's Dow, Qs, all right, coming into the week, we got to locate the if there's divergence, number one, okay, which is if the Qs are going to keep running and gunning and running the show here, okay, then I'm going to be long technology. All right. Looks like the Dow is underperforming here. It has not made a new high yet. The Qs have. So that's telling me I want to look at Dow names. If I want to look for if we do get a pullback, I'm going to look to this sector for that pullback. Okay? You want to go out? Do you want to go out? My fault. A little, and that's why I was behind too. My cat had a fur ball. So for anybody that was here, that I was a little bit behind, my cat was trying to get up a fur ball, so I was dealing with that. The Dow, it's lagging. Okay, it's lagging. Looks like she's wanting to, you know, I want to see if the Dow can break out to new highs. So I want to look for, what did that happen again? And that's another nice setup. So if I see, I'm going to tell you guys what I want to see, right? For the beginning of the week. So the beginning of the week, I want to see if the Dow or if the Qs can lead us higher. And I might look at the Dow in particular for a trade to break out to that 392 high. It all depends on where we wake up at. All right, and what all is going on. So if I go to the Dow, all right, you're going to see some of these names like CRM breaking out to new highs, McDonald's. You know, we don't really. You have Merck. It's not really what I want to see, but I want to see if the Dow can continue on this path. If it doesn't, that's going to give me my first signs of, you know, the market is shifting, right? And the Qs are kind of, you know, probably getting ready for a pullback. The IWM did not make a new high. It's trying. The IWM's trying. All right. The IWM's trying. The IWM's starting to get, right? The IWM has room here. The IWM's in an area already made the box. So this box, this is a good trade here. All right. If the IWM and the Qs and the market itself is going to continue higher this week, even early in the week, I'll probably continue to look for Dow or for the IWM to get back up to 210. All right, I want to see if the IWM can get back up. Man, it has nothing. All right, yeah, like 210s. It could be a resistance level. All right, could be, but I think the real resistance level on the IWM is at 220. I mean, honestly, I think once you break above 210. That I would consider 210 on IWM like a possible resistance level. And if we break above 210, guys, watch out. Yeah, this level here could be a pretty decent area of resistance right there. If we break in and up through 210 and hold 210, we have room all the way up to 220. That's a nice $10 move just inside that range if we break above 210. All right, so that's I'm gonna keep IWM on watch. It was a nice trade Friday. I know a couple people took it. Um, yeah, it was, but again, it's just not giving you that new high, which you would want to see that outperformance. She was up 1%, but you know, if you played the IWM, you didn't make as much money as you would have at the Qs. We talked about Apple. So again, if you guys have questions, please throw it in the chat. Oh shit, I don't even have the chat up. Throw it in the chat. Hit the like button. Subscribe. If it's your first time here, welcome. A little bit about myself. I've been trading for 10 years, and I started this channel to, you know, there's a couple of things that I'd like to do with it. I just seen a lot of stuff going on. I think a lot of people are getting it taken advantage of, in my opinion. And, you know, just, you know, something I thought about doing, and I finally did it. And we've had some success here. So, Apple, I think you're in an area where you have a lot of, you know, there's a lot of mess there. So, if we can, you know, we'll look to see if we get more downside. All right. But I would like to see the market pull back. That way I feel a little bit better about getting some momentum out of Apple. All right. Microsoft. All right. We've been watching Microsoft for a few weeks now. Microsoft's like playing around with this range. Oh, it did break out, actually. It did break out. Let's look. I have not looked at it. So you guys are going to make, I'm going to make my watch list with you guys. I do have a couple things already written down that I want to watch. So Microsoft. So Microsoft did break back out to that. Wow. Was there news on Microsoft? Jeff Bezos. Funds rise. First everyone. Was there news or anything on Microsoft? Let's see here. OpenAI makes a bold prediction. Army thinks we need to bragging Palantir, which I'm going to cover Palantir and AI. Matter of fact, let me write that down. AI. Okay, got that. Oh, shit, give me 1 second, guys. So yeah, Microsoft. We ended up playing this last week. All right. So you guys can see here on this move, you know, Microsoft's holding up pretty well. I think that the ones you got to watch for is Google and Apple. So Microsoft is up here. It got through its resistance level. I don't want to get rid of those levels right yet. But we can see here on Microsoft up at 415. Yeah, up here at 415. Man, that's close. It broke right. It just broke right above it. It broke right above it, guys. That's a nice little double bottom there. Yeah, it broke right above it. So it's 415. Let's pull up a 15-minute chart. So let's see if Microsoft's going to try and I don't think it's going to. This could be a nice setup though if we don't hold this gap again and we have another shot at a short. I'd like to try and take that back down to 408. All right, I would like to try and take Microsoft down to 408 short. So let me write this down real quick. Again, I'm making my watch list with you guys. So it did. I can't believe it broke back above because I haven't watched it ever since we traded this long and then we were looking at this short. This day, which was I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So that was Friday then. It was not last Friday, but the Friday before. So it's regaining. It's pretty funny. So you got to watch 415 on Microsoft. All right, but that's probably not until so it did look after hours. It did pull back below it. So I'm going to look for that area 415 to 416 to hold as resistance. All right, because you had a really nice rejection. And you know what's funny about that rejection that I didn't even take notice of? What do you guys see? Let me show you guys something. What do you guys see here? What do you guys see? All right, so if I have it on, there's two things. There's two things here. So if I take, pre-market and after hours off, obviously it's really oversold. All right, and in my opinion, what happens during market hours is what I like to count. All right, not after hours and pre-market. Obviously at like 8:45 from 9 to 9:30, obviously it's a different story. But I want to see if we do get another rejection. But what I see here is, look what happened off of that heavy rejection up there at 415. We gapped up to it, right? Look how low this volume was on that day. Right? Look how low the volume was on this day. Look at that. And look at the continuation that it gave you. And this is what I talked about in the beginning of the stream, was understanding what it is that we want to look at. Right? Does it have a lot of price action in our way? Is it going to give us that follow through? Right? If we're going to break out higher, if it's a stock you're looking to go down, okay, if you're looking at like Apple, it's got a lot of price action that's going to you're going to make your move and then it's just going to get bought up. Right? It'll go up a little bit, then it'll fall back down, then get bought back up. Like, it's not going to give you that straight downside unless obviously unless Apple has news or something. But, this is what I like to look for. Nice momentum, because there's not much price action up here. So, and that's telling you something, but it was on low volume. Let's see what happens. I'm going to let Microsoft tell me what it wants to do, because you are holding 414. So I'm going to put that dotted line there, and that's also Thursday's close. Okay, so Thursday's close. We're going to watch 414, 415 on Microsoft. All right, let me write this down. MSFT. So why I say that is because if it does hold, then we know that we have, all-time highs. Right? We know we have all-time highs, and that's a $5-6 move there. Right? To 420. All right? To 420. And obviously, that itself was low volume on that pullback off of that level. All right? So I think Microsoft's a little bit done. I think you get that bounce. That's what I would look for, is like a bounce just a little bit higher, right? And then it just like fails. Maybe it does it during the day and you come in with a gap down, right? That's what I'm going to look for on Microsoft. Depending on where we open up at tomorrow. Let's see where we open up at tomorrow. You're still not in this range. So this is the range, right? If we hold it, would be up here. All right? And that's 415 to 420. If we don't, then our range is back down there. So you tell me which is the bigger move. You can break out to new highs, though, so don't discount that. You couldn't break out to 425 as well. All right, but I think it's trying to consolidate here a little bit. We'll keep our eye on it. I mean, there's a trade there. It's been giving you some momentum moves because there's not much price action up here. There's not a lot of buyers, and there's not a lot of sellers, as compared to like some of the price action that's down below you. All right, so that's going to be on my list. If we can't hold 415, I'm going to look for a short from 415 back down to 407. All right, that's Microsoft. If we hold 415, 414, then I'm going to look for, possibly a rejection up at 420. I probably won't play it to the long side, unless the markets are ripping and roaring, and unless there's news there. All right, so that's Microsoft. We'll cover Meta real quick, some of the big tech names. All right, one more time. If you guys have questions or are new here, just say hi, say hello. If you guys have any tickers, anything in mind, throw it in the chat. We're going to cover some semiconductors. Meta's just a monster. All right, I think you got to look to just, every time it gets to the 9 EMA on the daily chart, look to go long. This thing is an animal right now, guys. Look at that. I think it's just a parabolic move. I think Meta's got to pull back a little bit. She doesn't have to do anything, but I'll be damned if that ain't a parabolic move there, guys. Unless this is what we're doing here. I would say the move starts. I would say the move starts here, okay? Not here, but I'd say the move starts from here to here, and then if I do this little move to move, I'd say the move starts here, off of that pullback, and then rally, or there. And look, we're right about there. All right, and we're right about there. So, it's, you're in no man's land with Meta. It just consolidates, hits the 9 EMA, and roars. So, I don't really have much for you there, other than pulling back, right, taking back some of that move. All right, it's got to pull back for me. Meta's got to pull back. Let me just take some of these levels off, even though I don't like to do it on the stream. So that's a nice consolidation, bounce higher. It is it just looks like Microsoft too, where it's trying to reject. Nope, it's trying to hold. It's trying to hold 502. I wonder if Meta in the next couple quarters does a stock split. I'm really curious if they do that. I do. I wonder if they do a stock split in the coming quarters. They might not. They might not. So I need a pullback, though. I think Meta really needs to try and pull back to this previous high up at like 490, 491. All right, right in this area here. So that's Meta. If anybody's wondering about Meta, I think you need a pullback. And you know what? If you get that pullback and we get some volume with the markets, once you break 497 or 498, 497.85, you don't have much stopping you in this area from here, really down to here. But, that's a really nice move. What is that? 497, 493. Right? 497 to 493. So, that's a pretty nice move. That's not considering this move that you take back and that move and getting back down to the prior resistance. So, I'm going to keep my eyes on Meta if we get a pullback. But again, I'm not going to fight the trend, guys. Don't fight the trend. All right? All right. So, again, questions or tickers or stocks, throw them in the chat. All right. Boeing is another one that I've been watching. There was some news out Friday, I think it was. It was SLR. I think it was. The SLR rule. No. Why? There is something that Boeing... Shoot. I think I went through too many stocks to pull it back up. SLR, no. Shit. I went through too many names. It was Spirit. There was news with Spirit. Not Spirit Airlines. Let me type Spirit Aerospace. Not Spirit. Spirit Air. SPR. Okay, so Boeing, from my understanding, is going to use SPR, Spirit Aerosystems, for quality control. Okay, I don't know much about this story or what's going on, but that was the news that came out Friday. Go to the 50-day consolidated, and now you're up into this area on the daily chart. All right, you can see with the volume profile, just as an example, like I can see it without it, but I throw it up for people that might be new. You also have an inverse head and shoulders. All right, they're not all created equally, but this one has some really nice volume on the upsides of the move. Low volume pullbacks, increase in volume to the upside. You can see that. There's a lot of buying there in the areas where it's supposed to be. I don't like that. I don't like that. But, I want to see if SPR, Spirit Aerosystems, does get a pullback to like 32, 31.50, that high 31s, right? 31.50 to 32, and see if it holds. Okay, because you have a nice trade here. If people forget about it, right? You have a nice trade here where you can pull it back and possibly fill this gap up here. That gap's up at 35, just under $36. All right, so that is, if we get that pullback, that's a 12% move in the stock itself. Okay, if you get the pullback, okay, if you get the pullback to 32. But I would look for that pullback to 32. Okay, pullback to 32. All right, pullback to 32. Sorry. Pull back to 32, and then we look for that upside to get to 36. Okay? That's what I want to see. Even if we can consolidate, and then there's like a price upgrade or something. Okay? I want to be able to see what happens at that 32 level. All right? Give it a day or two to die down. People forget about it, and that's probably your best chance when they least expect it, and this thing's just, it does a 2, 3%, 4%, 6% type of day. Not saying that's going to happen, but that's what I'm going to watch for. I'm going to watch for people to forget about this News Friday and look for the upside there, if it gives it to us. Boeing. All right, Boeing, I'm still watching Boeing. I'm waiting for Boeing to tell us what she wants to do. Right now, she's just hanging out at 199.80, 200. So I want to see if we can break 200. Okay. We have a little area down to 180. It's like 184. Okay. It's like 184. Still, if we're at 200 and that's not until 184. All right. We got a gap. We have gaps down here that it's kind of filled, but it hasn't closed down there. Okay. So Boeing. This is a descending wedge. This is a bullish pattern. It is oversold, but it's not giving me everything I want to see yet. Okay? It's trying. So I want to see if there's upside. I want to see if there's upside. I'm not counting out the both. I just feel like every time 200 breaks, you have some buyers that come in and buy. And here's the thing. If the market's going to go higher, Boeing's not going to go lower. Or too much lower, unless it has news again or something, right, to make it go lower. I want to see if we can bounce and try to get through 208. 208, 209's been a tough level for Boeing. All right, that 208, 206 level, it's that whole area. Again, it's putting in a wedge, so it's kind of sitting in this price action. But I feel like it's got to give us something soon because it's been sitting here for so long. In my years in the market, it's like when something has done something for so long, it can only do it for so long, right? It can only trade sideways for so long before it breaks out or it breaks down. And usually that gives you the move, right? If you were to do it off of the SPY back in 2021, 2022, when we had that inflation, you could take those 2 to 3 weeks when we weren't doing nothing, getting the CPI, and we were just gapping down. We would just fall 2%. And then gap down and fall another 1.5% on the SPY. Okay? And what I'm talking about is stuff like this, right? Where we would get up to these areas, you would consolidate for a week, and then look, consolidate, fall. Look, consolidate, right? Consolidate, boom. So, it's kind of, I just feel like something's going to give here, and it's coming. I feel like it's coming, in my opinion. That's all that is. The probability is the longer it stays here, the more likelihood that it's going to give us that breakout or breakdown type of move. And we got room here. So, in my opinion, if I had to say, I feel like it might be to the upside, but I would like to get the downside. I don't know. It's just because it's oversold doesn't mean it can't go lower. It's putting in a little bullish divergence. It's getting bought up, so I'm dealing with that. I'm dealing with the fact that the door's falling out of the plane. People could have gotten killed. Fortunately, they did not. So this is like, I'm going to play it either way. I have an upside target and a downside target. The downside target is going to be down if we can break 197. Okay, here's what I would like for the downside trade. I would look for the bounce and see if we reject 202.50. Okay, that area, 202.50, 203. And then we would look for, like, all right, we would look for that bounce here. And then we would look for the break. And then the retest probably at 199.50 area. And then see if we can get down into this area, right? This area of 189 to 196. So 180, that low 190 area. All right. And this is a massive support zone down here at 194 or 195. So you got some support there. It's a $5 move, so it may not give us much. All right, she may not give us much, but we do have a little bit of room there. That's a $5, $6 move for Boeing. That can pay you. It'll probably pay you a little bit more than you might think. Sorry that went on. The upside is obvious. I'm going to look for the upside. All right, I want to see it hold here at 200, break above 202.50, 203, and I want to see it hold 203, 202.50. Really, I'd like to see it hold 204. Okay, 204 is the area I'd like to see it hold right here. Okay, I'd like to see it hold right there, and for us to do something like this, right? We bounce, we pull it back, and then maybe you sit here for a day or two, and then you get an upgrade or news that something changes, and then we break 208, 209, and we do get that extension back up to that 100-day, 200-day moving average. I can get rid of the 50-day because it's not doing anything. If you also look here, that 20-day moving average is being, you know, it tries to hold it as support back here. I don't know what the gray box is for. I kind of do, but I'm not worried about it. You know, support, then it gapped below it. Now it hit it as resistance, and it pulled back. So let's see. I'm watching Boeing. See if we get some upside on it. It's hard to say. We went through Microsoft, Boeing, all of them. Let's look at, again, if you guys have tickers, questions, throw them in the chat if you're new. If you have questions, don't be shy because someone else is out there wondering the same question that you have. If you have any stocks, ideas, throw them in the chat. I want to continue to watch. I'm going to start just randomly throwing out names here. I do have a list on my phone. And we went through earnings already. We did all that. So, let's look at, before I go into those, let's look at oil because of all the news that came out about these cuts that are happening. All right, let's see if the chart kind of plays along with it, and it kind of does. Doesn't that look like a chart where the dip buyers are kind of getting ready to get paid? We called that this down move happened on the 100-day, and we said it. Look at that double top right here. Everybody was all hyped up about energy. Oh, energy's going higher. We're like, bro, this shit is way oversold. Like, I don't know. And we took that short. All right, you could have been here with us. We trade live Monday through Friday right here on this channel. So, you're above all major moving averages. You have a nice wick that pulled back. You know, I think, you know, again, this is USO. I think it might be a little bit overdone. I think you get a pullback to 73 on USO, and that's where you'd want to look to be a buyer if it can hold there. Even though it did. It looks like it did, right? You get this resistance level up here, and look at this 2-day 9 EMA right there, right? You get the bounce off the 20-day and the 100-day. That's pretty bullish. But this is where you need to be a buyer, right? This is you. You need to be right here on those days. You're taking profits Friday. If gold's going to keep going higher, then surely energy might be going higher. Okay, you have to watch also, and this is going to go inside with the gold play. All right, Dixie, the dollar. No, I don't want to copy the damn price. So you can see here the dollar is up at a level that could be resistance. If the dollar breaks 106, or I'm sorry, 105, and it holds it as support, then watch for gold and possibly energy to go a bit lower. You know, how would energy play with that? I know gold, that's not good for gold. I'll tell you that right now. We do have this clear pennant that the dollar's putting in. Almost kind of like Apple, right? It quickly recovered, as you can see there. You know, it's not overbought. It's kind of just sitting here consolidating in this area. I would watch 103.85. Because this was prior support, resistance, support, broke. So it's kind of just kind of just doing its thing higher. Let's look at the other. Let's look at divergence, right? Let's look at Euro USD, and we'll look at other currencies to kind of give us a hint, if there's a hint, because we called this out here. As you guys can see, that divergence was going to go higher, which was going to pull the dollar back, and that's exactly what happened. All right. Not many people were talking about that. So let's look here. Sorry, let me get rid of this. I think they're just consolidating. I think we have to, maybe we need, oh my goodness. I don't want the euro to go lower. Because you're trying to get this little bit of a pop here, and it doesn't look like, see what I mean? You were trying to get that pop, and it doesn't look like it wants to hold. So it looks like it wants to pull back. All right, that means the dollar is going to, obviously, if this pulls back, the dollar is going to go higher. And that's going to put a little bit of stress on the equity markets. It's going to put stress on gold. So with them cutting back energy, I'm just going to use the chart to tell me, this headline might be a sell piece. All right, if I got to be honest, watch crude oil futures. All right, I don't trade energy that much. I'll trade the names. Which we're going to get right into also, because I almost forgot about one thing. You got some resistance up there. See if it pulls back. Watch 74. If 74 breaks, then hello, 100-day moving average is 70.71. All right, 72.71. Sorry, but I'm looking at it like this, right? I'm looking at the range, right? This to me is a range, right? If it gets back into that range and can't hold, all right, then that means I could play the rejection and look to get to the bottom of the range, right? So, and look at the volume you have up here waiting for you up there at 76. All right, so that's what I would look for. Does it end up, which I can edit this, do this. I'm sorry. I got to get better at these guys. All right, so if we don't hold this 74, we look for it to get back in there, make it rejection. We could look for the bottom of the range around 71, $70. Oh, what else do we have there? The 50-day moving average. That trade could take like 2 weeks. All right. It's hard to say how long that trade would take. Maybe it consolidates. That's bullish in my opinion. If it sits up at this level for a while, watch out. Watch out. All right, watch out. All right, so that's that. Let's go back into some regular names. I did just want to cover that real quick. It's a really nice rejection. Look at the volume. Like, yeah, it closed green, right? See all that volume there? But, man, that's a hell of a pullback. I got to be honest with you. That's a hell of a pullback. So, I would be cautious. That's a really nice grind higher. I mean, I think you got to hold. I think you got to test 74. I think USO's got to test 74 to really get going. To bring in some enthusiast buyers there. And look here. Do you guys see this? All right. You see that day? I'm not sure what happened that day, but where'd they come in at? The high 73s. So, resistance was broken. And look at the sell volume coming in. It's not like we broke it on an increase in volume either. You can't really go with that on these names because they're a little weird. They don't really trade like that, kind of like the Chinese ADRs. All right, so we went through all them. Netflix, see how Netflix is doing, and we're going to get into like Palantir. Throw us some lists, guys. If you guys have any, like DraftKings, Palantir, we're going to talk about Carvana, SMCI, and you know what? I'll just go right down the list that I have. All right, so Netflix did it, guys. That was our target. This gray box, that was our, look, you guys can see it. So if this is your first time here, welcome. We gave you this Netflix target right there, that orange line. And where are we? 620. Okay, we called that out. We called this move out, and it's there. She made it. All right, so Netflix did the move. That's, again, this is my goal this month. What's your goal this month? Let me know in chat. My goal is to, when I see things, I put it in front of me and I don't forget about it. Morning, lunch, and breakfast, or morning, lunch, and dinner. I do not want to forget about it. Just like gold. We talked about gold Wednesday. We could have been taking profits on Friday. I forgot about it. I do not want to let that happen again. I've done it too many times. So when I see something, Just like when I looked at MSOS, understanding the sentiment that we're coming into, I am not forgetting about this possible double bottom here on the daily. If we can break, this is a little shady. You have to watch for this, all right? This sector is a little, it's not the business, but it's more so the trading that goes on. If we can break above, we have nothing stopping us really up here, not much, that we can't get to that higher range. But, you know, double bottom, hitting the 50-day, just screaming to go higher. We need volume. We need something. So I just don't want to forget about it. Whether it breaks out or it doesn't, I don't want to forget about it. I'm not feeling too enthused about it because of this pivot low, and it's trying to make it, you know, see, I would call that, let's see here. Because now, you know, and even so, I would use this as a dip buy, right? If I notice a rejection here, I'm still going to keep my eyes on it. So that was bought. This is the closing price. Was right there. You know, I'm going to use the psychological $9 level. All right, we got to get above $9. The reason I'm not using the pivot low is because it's $8.68, unless there's a resemblance there. Let's see, where does, see that? Yeah, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with $8 or $9. So I'll be watching it. If it breaks, it has room, you know, down to $8. That's a nice dollar move. All right, either way. And watch the liquidity there. So you may just want to think about, if you do try to trade that, you know, watch options because they may not be that liquid depending on what your strike price is. So we went through that. Let's talk about NVIDIA. Let's go to semiconductor land. Let's go to semis, baby. Let's go to semis. NVIDIA had a hell of a month, up 30-some%. Parabolic move just like Meta. Insane. All right, so in order to play NVIDIA in my book, you got to play the market. We said all last week, if you guys could, do us a solid, please. We're trying to get to 10 likes. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. It really helps the stream. It'll help others find us, okay? I said it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and even into Thursday that might be the day. You need a catalyst to get AMD out of its own way. I know I'm looking at NVIDIA, but AMD, we did not look at AMD at all Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. We knew AMD was going to consolidate until it came out with news, or it had the market at its back to break it out higher, and that's exactly what you got on PCE. We called it to a damn T. Excuse my French. My point is this week's going to be volatile, all right? Between Powell, ISM, non-farm payrolls, unemployment numbers, just there's left and right. You have the bill that they need to pass in the thing to not go into a shutdown. They're running out of money at the end of this week. Bank term lending program stops this week. So I think, you know, you have to watch on the back of Powell's words. There'll be a little bit of volatility Wednesday on that with the data, okay? I think more at the end of the week is when you're going to get the real direction, okay? Whether that comes from unemployment or non-farm payrolls. So I think we want to look for a pullback, in my opinion, on NVIDIA. And look for $799.50. Okay, that's what I would do. All right, $799.50. She's grinding higher, I think, until they do a stock split, something, because even a stock split is going to bring in more money. I think you know, until you get past $1,000, $1,200, I don't fight the trend. So if you see NVIDIA consolidating, then wait till you get 4 or 5 days, 3-4 days, and then start watching it if it starts to consolidate. So if it pulls back, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, see what it does Friday, okay? Or unless there's news, you got to watch, make sure there's no news. But I would look for the pullback, obvious pullback right here, right? 820. We'll pull up 820, and that would be my range, right? If we can't hold 820, all right, then I know I got a little bit of downside, at least down to 810. If not, you know, back down into 800. That's a $20, nearly a $25 move back down to 800. And that's what I would look for. The thing is that we broke on a high, you know, not high, but on an increase in volume. Okay, we broke that prior pivot high up there at 820. you broke it. So you may end up holding 820, and it may just give you another run to 850, 860. Let's go to, like, we could try to measure this and find out where the hell is it going. This is a double top. This could be a double top. I didn't notice that at first. All right, I did not notice that. So watch out for that double top there. I think, though, yeah, see, it's going higher after hours. If the NASDAQ's going to continue higher, you got to expect NVIDIA and NVIDIA, AMD, semiconductors, SOXL, to go higher. So, I'm not going to be playing NVIDIA. I'm going to wait for the other move or some type of news or something to play it, right? So, 820 is your number, guys. Pull back to 820, it holds. Just watch out for a consolidation, okay? If you try to get long as soon as it gets to 820, you might be trying to play this thing too early. If it just continues and continues, watch the volume. I can't play NVIDIA right now. I think right now it's past the point of no return. If it does pull back to 800 and we're holding, like you get a nice pullback in the overall markets for whatever reason, and it starts to hold, and you get a bounce like initial jobless claims comes out, and we hit that 125 to 130 mark, and that's showing signs that the Fed's seeing what it needs to see to start cutting rates, then that might be your catalyst to take it another leg higher. Okay, non-farm payrolls, maybe you get an increase in non-farm payrolls, but you're going to get initial jobless claims beforehand. So we kind of know. Now, the thing is with non-farm payroll is that it could come in at a decent, you could see the market bounce a little bit, but remember we had a snowstorm. Remember that we had a snowstorm and it ripped unemployment. All right, and and I said this. I said, guys, let's wait and see if that snowstorm is going to, if initial jobless claims can stay up here, right? If it doesn't, it's telling us that, hey, that snowstorm really, people were filing unemployment because of the snowstorm. They couldn't work. So the labor market's tight as all hell. The Fed's not going to be in a rush until until they see signs of a softening. We're kind of getting it slowly. Like it's grind. Right now I feel like we're at a point with initial jobless claims that we're grinding a little bit higher, and then we pull it back. But that trajectory is going higher. There was a lot of unemployment, or a lot of companies talking about layoffs this, layoffs that. That's probably not going to show up in initial jobless claims. Here's why. What are they going to start with? They're going to start with drug test. Okay, they'll start with the first rounds with drug test, and then the next one would be raise your hand if you want, if you want to lay off or whatever. If if you're good, they'll get unemployment because they if they get fired for just because the company's laying off, they're going to get unemployment. So I feel like that's why we're not seeing initial jobless claims right now. If companies have started, is because they're going to be drug tests, and they're not going to be able to file for unemployment. If they do, they can try, so that you have to just keep that kind of stuff in mind. Let's go to AMD. So NVIDIA 820. All right, I need a pullback 800. Don't fight the trend, please, unless there's a real reason to. All right, AMD. All right, I want to keep this thing moving. Damn, it's already 9 o'clock, y'all. Shit. All right, so we said it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and going into Thursday, this thing needs the market. We need something to move the market to move AMD, and that's exactly what happened. Consolidated did nothing, and then PCE. Bang. All right, so AMD, just a fucking monster, bro. Monster of a move. I'm a little upset that I didn't trade AMD because I was short Tesla up there at that 200 level, which we're going to get into Tesla. And again, guys, please, if you guys could throw some tickers in the chat that we could cover. AMD, it's at all-time highs. All right, look for the pullback, consolidations, and then look to go higher. So what do we have here? Would this be the wedge? Could we consider that the wedge? No, I'm going to start it right here. This was the move, technically. Okay, let's go right here. Let's see if this works. It worked on Netflix. We called Netflix. It made its move. It really started there. It closed. See, I would start it there. And it's pretty much there. I would look for a pullback. So either way, it's made the move, in my opinion. Maybe. Hold on. Let me look at this correctly. Hold on. Let's do it from here. This is where the move really started. Okay, so if there's a real move here on AMD, then this would be my target. Would be right there. And it's got to be up here, which is crazy to think. 225. Holy shit. To think that I didn't want to buy, or I was trying to get lower than $80, and here we are at 200 to 225. This is why you always buy, guys. This is why you always buy, and try not to nickel and dime yourself over $5, $10 on a stock. Unless you're buying 10,000 shares, don't nickel and dime yourself over, $4 or $5. I mean, I get you want to get the best price. If we're we're obviously have been in a pretty bullish market, all right. And I think this should all. I just don't know what the catalyst is going to be. This is what we look at, right? This is pretty much inverse of the SPY. This is an NFCI, the National Financial Conditions, risk, credit, and leverage. I bring it up all the time because this is my tool. This is pretty much liquidity. Now, why is this pretty much at a low and starting to curl? Well, bank term lending. The Fed is providing liquidity. Believe it or not, in a time of quantitative tightening, the Fed is still providing liquidity. But that ends Friday. So that's why we're starting to see this bottom. And this thing starts to rise, I will be getting my puts. I'm going to be patient because there still needs to be a catalyst. All right? There still needs to be a catalyst. And I think that catalyst can be the banks. But that, again, is going to take a few months. Because if rates are still at 5.5%, because the Fed's not seeing the labor market, that's the, I feel like that is the recipe for disaster, right? The Fed looks at it, they're smart people, so they probably won't do this because they know about the lag effect, blah, 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 blah. I think there still needs to be a little bit more time that people aren't giving it. I think if they don't bring rates down between 6 to 8 months, okay, because they have not seen the labor market soften. They have not seen the things that they want to see, whatever that is. I think you're going to get banks that start to come back into the picture if they don't bring rates down in a decent time. They flooded them with cash for the most part, whoever needed it. But when that starts to run dry, and if rates are still at let's say 4.75%, 4.5%, what is that median? Where do rates need to be that the banks can function okay? That if they need to sell assets to bring in money for depositors, that they're not selling them at a loss. I don't know where that's at. I want to say 3.5, possibly 4. I don't know though. But if the Fed is going to wait until summertime to start, and they're going to do 25 basis points, then that's telling me my 6 to 8 month mark, and that's going to bring us around 4.5%. And I think that's what's going to happen is you're going to see us probably get to around 4.5% by 2025, by the end of this year, 2024, the end of this year. And what does that mean for banks at 4.5%? That's my prediction. Mark my words right now. For anybody that's on here, you heard me say it just now that if that's not where they need to be, then I think banks start to come into effect again in August, September. All right. So that's, I don't know, I don't really know what you want me to say about AMD. There's not really much here, guys. Just, let it pull back, let it consolidate. If it keeps running, shoot your shot. 225. I think you got till 225. All right, but that doesn't mean you just wing it and flip a coin. All right, you could flip a coin and get 50%. You just got to understand that you need to make more, right? You need to get that 2 to 1, all right, instead of that 1 to 1 when you flip the coin and it goes the other way and you lose. You want to lose 1 to 1, but you want to make 1 to 2, 1 to 5, 1 to 3, 1 to 4. Okay, you want to make 4 times. 3 times, 2 times what you're making. You don't really want to make 2 times if you're just going to flip a coin and go, because it's only going to be a few strings of losses there when you're going 1 to 1, and that 1 to 2 starts to eat up. All right. So manage your risk. That is our upper hand. If you guys could, please do us a solid. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so. Carvana. Let's talk about Carvana, Palantir, some of these names that I want to bring up. Again, I'm still making my watch list right here with you guys. So I brought up Boeing. I brought up a lot of those names. Microsoft, we talked about Meta, Carvana. Carvana's holding $82. All right, $82. Let's go to a daily chart. Let's go to the daily chart. Shit. We're starting to get to a point where we're not going to have much price action here to stop us and hold us back, right? It's not going to hold us back. Right now, we got room, in my opinion, if we can keep up the volume, $100, $99 to $100. That's my target, okay? And that also adds up with the move from earnings. Or no, hold up. There's something going on here. Hold on. Let's see here. Where did I measure that move from? Oh, and look at that inverse head and shoulders, guys. Wow. You have like head and shoulders, head and shoulders, head and shoulders there. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, breaks out. Let's see if it pulls. Yeah, that's what that gray box is for. See if it pulls back and holds that level. But that'd be too far of a pullback in my opinion. I think I measured it from this move, guys. All right, I think right here. Let's see. Because you want to measure these moves. They can really help you. That's where it started. Or did it start here? It really started right there because that's a consolidation. All right, is that where we did it? Let's see. I'm telling you, it works. We just did it for Netflix. We said price target 620. A week later, 620. Right there is the open. That's a pullback. That's why I'm going with the day after. And that's exactly it. That's exactly it. All right, we're looking for $90. We closed above. Carvana has closed above. I drew you guys out, I think Friday, what I wanted to see. So we're above that level. Let's look for 82.25, that 82 mark to start to hold on Carvana. All right, let's go here. I need to delete that stuff, I know. Yeah, I'm going to watch to see if this level can hold, guys. All right, yes, let's look for an, like, look, and that level just hit 83. 83 just hit. 83 just hit. All right, let's pull up a 5-minute chart. Oh, shit, I got to bring up Tesla. I keep forgetting about Tesla. Oh, no, it's making it rejection now. All right, so it didn't hold. So 83 did not hold. 83 did not hold. All right. I think we're still okay. Let it consolidate. If Carvana stays up here, man, that's actually really nice. I want to see if Carvana can go higher. Hold on. I think we might be getting a pullback here, so I might be taking this thing short. Hold on. Yeah, I might be taking it short. Yeah, it might look like we're going to take this thing short, guys. At least me. Yeah, I want to look for a pullback. What I want to see to be bullish is a consolidation. I need this thing to consolidate for a little bit and try to hold 75.50, or better yet, if it can hold $82, that's what I would like to see on Carvana. Let it consolidate for a day or two, and then see if we can get the move higher. All right. So this is the level I'd be watching for, and then maybe we could get a pullback. There's a little bit of price action in here that could, you know, deter us from getting like a nice move to the downside. Shit. All right. Let's do that. So we got that. Let's see here. Holo. Yes, I see in Holo. I appreciate that, man. I'm going to go into it. 8 trading days. Do you think next? Do you think we can drill down on what next for Holo will be? Let's see. Let's find out. Let's find out. We'll go into it. Shit. That's a nice double bottom there. Fuck. I would like to see Carvana hold. I would like to see it hold. No. Just give me 1 second. I'm not sure if I left the camera on or not. I did. My fault, you guys. My fault. I did not mean to leave that on. Alright, so yeah, I want to see if this area holds on Carvana. Yeah, I want to see if Carvana can just hold on and just give me 1 second. We'll pull up AI too. Didn't AI have earnings not too long ago? I think AI had earnings a little while ago. All right, so that's a nice little range there. You could even say, you know, a pullback and another lower high down here at like 78. Just look at the biggest small cap stocks each year: 2022 HKD, 2023 top, 2024 all Asian related stuff. Oh, absolutely, absolutely Asian related. Absolutely, that's the first thing without even hesitation, instinctively. Is it an Asian Chinese name? Exactly. Holo went to when did Holo do that? Well, I remember playing Holo. Oh, it was this move, right? It was that move, and then bang. Let's see. If the here's what I think. I think we need the market to get boring again, and it'll help. Man, yeah, I think you just gotta wait for it, right? Next time it's an Asian Chinese name that's starting to gain some ground, and it's got some decent volume with a decent float that's not crazy. Look for the volume and, like, you know what I mean? Just wait for it. Like, I don't know what the name would be. Like, what the next name would be, personally. You know? But you're absolutely right, man. Yeah, silver hasn't been as strong as gold, NASCAR. I'm with you there. I was actually looking at that, too. So we went through. Let's look at AI real quick. No, Tesla. We got to go to Tesla. So this is one of the top ideas that I have. If we could we get a couple likes going here? I know, you know, I'm sure some of you guys already did like it. We're trying to get to 10 likes. What I would do is, you know, NASCAR, I would just look for, you know, Chinese names that are, you know, when they start to pop up, you know. Let's see here. Hold on 1 second. I'm just trying to load and get the live chat up. So Tesla's coming up to what I want to say, that 200 level, which is the middle, like it's middle ground. I'm kind of like wondering because, like, I can't rule out a higher move for Tesla back up to 215. I also can't rule out another shot back down to the 20-day at like 194, 193. Let's go right into it, though. Salty, what's up? How was your weekend? I have a few days of what next might be. A few guys in the Discord thought JL might be ready to run. Yeah, so remember, too, here's what could help that thesis, okay? This week, China is debating and getting into their big stimulus, okay? Like, they did release a round or two of it, I guess. They've already done one round and didn't do so much. 2-session meeting right here. Chinese leaders to hold annual 2-session meeting as debate bazooka-like stimulus swirls, okay? So they're trying to do more with getting their economy up and going, and they're going to be discussing GDP. So, you know, this, that could be like you start to get news about China. Maybe that could be a little bit of a catalyst to help you with that thesis, right? Um, that it's just my opinion, but let's see here. Let me go here. This isn't playing, is it? If you guys hear stuff behind me, just let me know. If you guys hear stuff behind like two of me talking. Let's see here. 95. So that dropped a little bit. I wonder why that dropped. Where am I? I'm trying to go somewhere. Hold up. Right here. There we go. So again, if the Nasdaq's going to lead higher, I'm looking at Nasdaq names. Tesla. All right, Tesla. So we can see clearly. Now the rain has gone. I'm just kidding. Fucking goof ass song. We have a beautiful Head and Shoulders here. Inverse Head and Shoulders. That's a failed breakdown. Now we're trying to hold. I feel like 198 is a huge... Why do I have that up there? Like, I have so much. I meant to clean this up. But, guys, I gave this out Thursday. And it went over 200%. Okay? Look at this. All right? What do we see? We see an increase in volume, kinda, on Thursday. That was the day we took the short, Thursday morning. All right? I took my profits pretty much when I got them because, it paid me really nicely. And I was, a little bit down on the month. And I was trying to go green. So it's just under... It was a small loss for me in the month of February. But again, remember, January was a beautiful month for me. So I took my profits there to help me for this month. Now, I want to see what Tesla does here at honestly, it's not going to be 202. But I want to see what happens here. All right. I want to see what happens right here. All right. I want to see what happens at 201. Yeah, what is that? 201. Yeah, 201 to 202. It's a dollar area. All right, we're putting in lower highs, but we're consolidating. You have a lot of buying down here. You have a lot of volume. All right, so I feel like Tesla, yes, it's consolidating. Okay, this is your range right now. Don't fight it. From 198 to 205. That's a beautiful range. From 198 to 205. That's a $6-7 range. And look what it's doing though. Right? This is what pays. It's giving you momentum. People could say Tesla's not moving. No, actually it is. Actually it is. This is what I like, and this is why I was trading Tesla. Okay? Now, it's not it's giving us follow through. It's giving us follow through is my point. Right? Look at if I take you to this, right? Look at this. Just straight bang, one day. Doing the bottom and top of it's doing the range in a morning, right? Or in an afternoon. Literally, this was a lunch session. From 199 to 205 was the lunch session. So Tesla is moving. You just have to be on the right side of the trade. Now, you could look at AMD or Apple. When they consolidated, they did nothing for you. They didn't do shit. All right? Sorry for the language. All right? Apple, it's not moving really. Right? It's kind of, but not really. Right? You got a high of 183 and a low of 180. That's a $3 move. Okay, not bad. But it's you can sense that it's slowing up a little bit. There's a lot of price action through here. I would like to see Apple a little bit lower, but I need something that's going to give you momentum. I think there's a lot going on there. So, Tesla. I think this week coming up could give us our play. And that's either going to be, let me take this off. Let me go to the 15-minute chart. All right. 15-minute chart. I want to see if we pull back and if we can hold, actually get down to 198, because we haven't touched 198 yet. Um, I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest here. I want to see if we break 198. I don't know if we're going to, though. This sucks. This is a tough one, guys. This is a tough one. Because I feel like a pullback to 195 or a breakout up to the 50 to 215 is like coming. But we got to get out of 205 to like 199, 198. When I say 198, I mean like what is that? 199? So yeah, like 199, 198.50. You can see that it's just not like you guys can see right here, right? This is 198. And look, it just doesn't want to get there. It doesn't want to touch it. Resistance. And even that support was a little shady because it never really touched it. But here it did. That was your last touch. It was like 2-3 weeks ago. So, it's putting in a lower high, in my opinion. Right now, I'm going to play the range with Tesla. I want to see if I can get, I'm going to be honest, I want to see if I can get 198 to break, okay? And then maybe some buying come in at 195. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 195. All right? I want to try to get to 195. I just feel like we could get some upside, though, too. See, if we pull it back to 195, and I'm trying to figure this out with you guys. Again, it's about probability. 195, 197, 198. If we can pull back to this area, it would really help us. It would. It would really help, like, to get momentum to that 50-day. Then we could take the long, right? We could start taking the long down here. At least that's what I'm thinking. Man, this thing is tough, bro. Like, 192. I should be putting that down there. At 192 flat. Fuck. Yeah. Let's see what happens here. Okay, we just got to the daily trade line. Alright, we got to the daily trade line. Let's see if we test it again. Okay. Let's see if we do something like this tomorrow and into Tuesday. Like, I don't know how this is going to happen, but I would like to see another... No. I would like to see another, like, pullback. I don't know where we open up at. Let's say if we gap up, just for whatever reason. See if we can pull back to, like, shit. Because, look, you have equal amount of buying and selling going on here. I'm trying to figure this out now. Like, what's the probability of this thing doing this or that? It's about to go positive. So, Tesla, I want to see it pull back to the 90 MA one more time. Okay. Let me look real quick. I know I'm sorry this is dragging on. I do apologize. But this is the work that it takes. Okay, so it did sell off after hours. Okay. All right. What is that? 201. 201. 201. Okay, 201. 201. Okay. 201. Let's go to the daily chart. Let's see if we can get a pullback to 201. Alright, so what I want to see, I know there's a lot of lines, I'm sorry. Really, I could cut out all this middle crap. Is that 201? Let's see if we get a gap down and like I would like to see something like this. I don't know if it's going to happen Monday. I don't think it does, but let's see if we get a day like this down to like if we close something like this, right? Let's see if we do something like this. Okay. Oh, shit. Hold on. I'm sorry. Sorry for cussing, too. Okay. Let's see if we, if we put in a nice little wick. I know this doesn't look, I know it doesn't look right. Okay. We pull down, and we hold this, 199.201 area. And then I want to see if we can get that, depending on how we do this, if we can finally get the breakout. Maybe it's like 2 days, right? Maybe it's like 2 days. Like, we hold that level, right? We hold that level, all right? And then we get like the day 2 continuation. And it gaps down. And we can finally get up through that area. Then maybe it rejects there. Okay, that's what I'm going to look for. That's what I want to look for. Let me make sure. Yes, because this thing would pull it up. Let's see if we can get that, right? We pull back Tuesday, Wednesday. We go higher. We're going to probably need the market to go higher. Actually pull back because Tesla's been doing the complete opposite. This thing is just down, up, down, up, right? And then we get that final push up into like 208, 210. All right. You know, that may not happen, but, you know, it's what I would like to see. And the probability, you know, we are putting in a lower high, right? We're not putting in lower lows yet. It's pretty damn even. So I would watch the 90 MA. And we have room to the 20, but I feel like you need like a close higher on the daily chart. You need to like close up here. You haven't done that yet. All right? You have not closed up here. And you also haven't closed down here either. So look, a 198, a close down in that level, right? Also, this would be plan 2, is if we close down there and we hold 198, then I would look for, you know what I mean, that, see, then we're fighting the 90 MA. You got to pull that. So I think Tesla could still consolidate. Why do I say that? Because this 20-day moving average needs to get up to this area. And it could take a little bit for it. And what day is that? 3/7? So watch Tesla on 3/7. What is that? Thursday, end of the week? That's what I'm going to do. All right, so for now, I'm going to play the range. I'm playing the range for now until something changes. Because it looks like this level could hold at 202, 201.75. We'll see if it holds. We'll see if it holds. All right, that's Tesla. Do you guys have any stocks you guys can? Mine was good. Mine was great. I mean, I just got a lot of stuff done at home. I was unable to get a haircut and shave and look like a normal person, so I look a little raggedy on stream, but it is what it is, you know. It was pretty nice out, so I did stuff around the house this week. All right, that's Tesla. What else do we have out there? What other news do we have? I went through Boeing. Tesla, I'm going to play the range until it tells me otherwise. The only thing I like about Tesla is that it's giving me these sharp moves. All right? It's giving me those real nice moves in the morning or even lunchtime. Okay? I talked about Carvana. We could look at AI. We'll see what news we have. Let's go look real quick and see what news we have. Oh, Disney. Don't let me forget about Disney. I'm going to cover that now in case I forget. AI rallied. Let's look at AI. I'm going to put AI on the list. Shopify, some of those names. So CrowdStrike has earnings, so I'm going to wait to look at some of those names, you know, when they report. Wow, AI ripped, didn't it? Wow. AI went up to $38. Damn. So she's trying to hold $34. All right, let's do this. Let's look at AI. And I could look at ARM too. Oh shit, we still have a lot of room. This thing has, oh shit. Excuse my French. NVIDIA. Yeah, I went through NVIDIA. I think you need a pullback on NVIDIA. It's just, you know, we covered some of those names. Or, you know, we covered NVIDIA already. It's just parabolic right now. I think, what my opinion, you have a double top here. A possible double top. okay, up at 825. I think you need to let Nvidia like pull back and consolidate, maybe pull back here to like 800, kind of consolidate for a couple days, maybe even a week, right? And then look for the move higher after like, 3 to 5 days of consolidation. It may take longer, right? But if the market, listen, if the NASDAQ keeps grinding higher, then don't short it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say go long, but I'm going to say don't fight the trend, especially if the markets are going to go higher. All right. AI. Oh, I want to go with DraftKings and Disney. I don't want to forget about some of these names. Let me write this down really quickly. DKNG and Disney. DKNG, Disney, AI. And again, we'll have news when we wake up. Oh shit, I didn't cover Amazon. All right, AI. So you have some nice possible support level right there at you have this level here on AI. All right, it's a $35 stock. So if it makes $1, $2, $3, $4, $2, $3 move, that's a huge move in a day. It's a nice move. So $34. Let me go all the way back. $34. All right, we have some consolidation there. I think, honestly, if we can get AI to consolidate, I don't know. I could play this two different ways. I would look for the break of 34 and look for a short down to 30, 31. It's like $32 to $31. It doesn't sound like much, but when you're talking about a stock that's $30, you have a double bottom gap up here. You gapped up, you're putting in a double bottom here at 34. So that's kind of telling me, hey, they might try to hold this thing up. They might try to hold it up. All right, let's look at a 15-minute chart real quick. 15-minute. And, there you go, right? Look at that. So I would watch, obviously, I'd watch this level. Okay, I'd be watching that prior support and resistance level at $36. That's one. I'd watch this level at 34, and then that prior high up there at like 38. Right, $38. Yeah. Let's see here. Let me pull this all the way back. Let's pull it all. It's not gonna give it to me, is it? No, it did. Resistance. And look at the volume we broke it on. Let me pull this down, because the thing is, like, if we have nice volume on the break, then that tells us, hey, chances are that prior resistance here, these pivot highs, could hold. Damn, and look at the RSI. The RSI is still low. So what I would do is see if AI gets up and holds $36. I'd like for it to consolidate. I'm going to look up Roku too. So $36 hold. 36 hold. Then I'm looking for a break through 38. Then I'm looking for a break to all-time highs. All right, that's, yeah. And we have room. We have room. Again, guys, I'm making this watch list with you guys. So I don't know if I should make 44 the level. I feel like it should be the level. Yeah, 44. $44. That's it. That's the level. All right. So if we can hold. All right. I would like a consolidation. I'm going to say this right now. I would like to consolidate above $34. If you pull it back to 31, it's not over, because this is a support level at 31 on AI, or could be a support level. if you turn... Shit. If you turn 32.50, it's like 32.50 to 31. Call it $32. Man, this is tough, bro. Because, like, this is your resistance level at 34.50. So, man, I could try to pick this thing apart. But longer term trend, I think 34.50 to 35, that previous pivot high, you're making that area. It's an area support. Yeah, I would watch that level. I'd watch 34.50. 34. I'm going to make it 34. Friday and Thursday's low. Thursday and Friday's low. I'm going to look for this to hold, $34. And see if we could try to make an attempt back up to 44. Now, I say that because if we can get a consolidation, that would help our calls here. We need a consolidation, though. It needs to consolidate. All right, so that's that. I didn't want to spend a bunch of time on it, so if you want to write that down, go right ahead. If you consolidate up above 34. All right, consolidate up above this 34 area. You could get some support at 35. You could. And if Bloomberg's too loud, let me know. I'm going to make this a dotted line. Bang. Right there. That'll help. That'll help me kind of, you are getting a little bit of resistance up here. This will be my, this is what I'm going to do. I know I'm just repeating myself and repeating myself. I don't know why Bloomberg started to change their noise. I don't like it. Like, it's so annoying. So annoying. So there we go. 37. So we could possibly get a move. Let's see if it pulls back. And we could take that long if we find like a low volume pullback day. And then it does try to get to 37. That could be a trade from 34 to 37. All right. That would be a consolidation. That's what I'm going to do. 34. I know I said 36, but 35. We're going to see where we open up tomorrow. I think we might get that gap up tomorrow. We might. We'll see where we open up at. If we open up here at 36, you got some resistance up here. You got some resistance up here at 37. All right, that's AI. Let's keep it moving. If you guys, again, have any tickers, throw them in the chat. If you're new, welcome. If you guys could, please do us a solid. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. We're doing a giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. I think you guys are going to really like the giveaway. 2, liking the stream, subscribing would also help someone else find us. Let's go to Disney. Let's go start with the daily chart. I missed this short, and we called it out in chat. I missed it, though, because I forgot about it. This is, again, ask yourself, all right, what are you going to work on this month? Like, seriously work on it and fix. Mine is, when I locate opportunity, I don't want to forget about it. I'm going to put it and write it on my forehead if I have to. I do not want to forget. I'm tired of seeing things like gold where we could have been taking profits on Thursday because we brought it up Wednesday. Right? We brought it up Wednesday into Thursday, and it rips Friday. We could be taking profits if I didn't forget about it. Right? So here's Disney. It looks like Disney is trying to put in a double top. Trying to. All right? It's trying to put in a double top. What? There's so much going on here. I've literally put out the levels for every single little bit of movement in Disney. That's so funny. Disney's got a lot of resistance up there at, what is that, 120? Yeah, 120 area. Yeah, 120. You got a little level here as well, actually. I think this is a bigger level of 110. But that would be our range. That would be our range. hold on. Like, this is even bigger. I think this gap, you have a gap there. So, like, when I look at stuff like this, like, I'm looking at, like, the gap, right? This has a gap right here. You guys can't see it. But look, there's a nice gap, right? The gap up, pulls back, and rips. All right? It's just got a hell of a resistance level up there at 130. All right, 130. I don't know if we get to 130. It's got, you know, a double bottom. That's where you broke. That is where you broke. You know, you started the uptrend obviously at 203, but this when this level broke is really when you had that stretch on the downside, right? You guys noticed that? You broke it, it bounced back, and then boom, it did nothing but just go down from 130 down to $100. It fell $30. So, and this would also mean that if we can get back to 130, that this CEO news and like Disney itself is getting itself like back into what it used to be. But we're putting in a double top here. All right. It's putting in a little bit of a reverse, not reverse, but like a backwards cup and handle. Let's see. I know there's only a couple people here. I'm sorry that this is boring. Looking for 111 on Disney. See if it pulls back to like 111 and it holds. If it doesn't, it looks like we're going to get our opportunity short. It looks like we're going to get our opportunity again to the short side. And I'm going to look for that. I want to look for some downside on Disney. On each bounce. I want to see that. I'd like to try and get another opportunity to the downside. Man, that was a huge gap up. Pull back. Yeah, I'm going to look for a 112. 112 to 112, 110. I wouldn't mind trying the 20 day. Let's look. Let's look here. Make sure I'm not like missing something. Let me see. Man, there's a lot going on there. Nice double bottom. Boom. That thing had just been on a roll. Yeah, I don't. I think until I think, you know, Disney until, you know, I'm gonna let it show me that if it cannot get through, 112, 113, I'm gonna look for the short on Disney. All right, I'm gonna look for the short on Disney, just because you have these pivot highs up here at 112, 113. And let's see if we can get this thing back down to the 20 day, like 10. You know, I'm going to look for a 112 short down to 108. So that's Disney, okay? DIS 112 short. And what is the level? 108. You have to watch for the Nelson Peltz news. I think there is a vote coming on this. So who's going to shoot? Ready to go crazy? Bitcoin, Apple, Disney, Bitcoin, the Bulls, not Nvidia, Meta, hedge fund, Miss Opportunity, Magnificent 7. Shit, I didn't go through Google or Amazon. We'll have to cover those. And tomorrow's live stream will be a lot better too, guys. I'm sorry that it's a little bit boring here. DeSantis for oh, you know what's funny? This did come back into the news. DeSantis versus Disney. Florida governor accuses company of cronyism. Says they have lost. We're moving forward. Covers Florida governor Sandy Kristen about Disney. So, okay, and Darling. All right, and that's right. And that's all I needed right there. You have a 1, 2, 3 triple top. I want to look for a short up here on Disney, guys. All right, I forgot about them pull. You know, I remember now on CNBC them bringing this up. So I want to look for a bounce back. See if we get a bounce back and a pullback. We need to be able to break 109.85, 110. All right, you got to be able to break 110. If we can, you have room down to 108.50, 108. 108 would be your support level. The real support level, I think. All right, so that's Disney. Let's look at Palantir real quick, and then we'll look at Google, Amazon. Palantir has been consolidating. All right, Palantir has been consolidating. Hold up. Did it get there yet? It hasn't. It hasn't got to 27.50. Rally consolidates. I guess we could consider this one big double top, possibly. All right. All right, what is that? 23.50. Yeah, you got some serious rejections up there. You can see this 20-day moving average coming in up here at like what is that? 23.50. Let's see if we can get a pullback, right? Here's a nice trade idea, right? I want to look for the short on Palantir up at like 25.50. And then I'm going to look to take that short. I like this a lot, actually. All right, I like this a lot. Down to 24. I know it's a $1.50 news or $1.50 move, but PLTR. I'm going to look for a 25.50 rejection. And that target is going to be 24, but I want to see if we can get down to 23. I'm going to be taking profits at 24. 24. Final take, depending on how we get there, if we get there, would be down at 23. All right, so that's a nice idea I just wrote down there for myself. All right, hopefully they don't take this trade away from me. This makes me want to look into like Rivian and shit. Remember, like the automakers, the automotive makers had a really nice, like again, like guys, I've said it before. Look at Toyota. Look at the month, right? This is a weekly performance. Go to the month. Look at that. It's up 24%. It's a freaking semiconductor. So, you know, this was our month. So chances are we might get our pullback, guys. We might get our pullback. For the month of February, that's an insane month. Insane month. Weekly performance. But either way, Palantir, all right? I like Palantir. Don't get me wrong. This is a nice little double top. We're oversold. What I'm playing is the range, and I want to see if we can continue to consolidate. The longer Palantir sits up here and consolidates, that's just giving you more reason for the upside. That's a huge increase in volume there to the upside off of that earnings, and I would like to just be able to get a short, and I'm just praying. I'm praying to the good Lord above that it does break $24 so I can take profits off at 23 and get long down there at that area, right? I'm going to play the range. This is a really nice setup. It really is, in my opinion. Dude, maybe even somehow, some way, it gives us the damn $20 look. Maybe it gives us a $20 long. Is that what it did? It already started Friday. Shit. It already started Friday. So what I was looking at was this double top here. Right? Pretty much one, two. Maybe we get a bounce back. Oh, man, where could I get short? That sucks. I'm going to try to get it in front of 25. All right, but this could be a really nice trade here. Look, it really sold off after hours. They're going to take this trade from us. I can already feel it. I can already feel it. That fucking blows. 23.50 also. Yeah, look here. Look. They're already not even hesitating to turn 24 into resistance. They're taking that trade. Was there news on Palantir after hours? Does anybody know? Let's look. And again, the camera doesn't work right now. It's just being a little bitch. Sorry for the language. If your kids are probably sleeping, so I can cuss now, right? I think it's safe. Palantir, let's see. PLTR, Stock News. Let's see. Snub despite volatility, big AI upside 2 hours ago. Why Palantir? No, skyrocketed. It really pulled back. Let's see here. No, you know what? Yes. See, this isn't going to give us the news on after hours. Let's go to like Yahoo. Let's go to Yahoo and see if they have any. Because I could just look here, but I don't think it's going to give it to me. Palantir misses out. Supermicro computer makes the cut. What investors should know. Palantir was not included in the S&P 500. Oh, that's it. So we don't have to look no further. That's crazy. It was not included in the S&P 500. Wow. I thought for sure they were going to be able to do it. I thought for sure they were going to be. That's what? 4 quarters profitable? That's crazy. I don't think they're going to get. I don't think that they're going to get whatchamacallit on us. Political. Not that Peter Thiel and crew, and not Peter Thiel, but what's his name? Wow. It's not that they would be political because let's see, find it. Latest quarterly rebalance of key S&P indices announced on Friday. Yeah, what was not included? So let's look at that, guys. There's another. I'm saying it over and over. There's so much opportunity in this market. Let's look. I forget who replaced it. Let's go here. So, how do I word this? What did they say? They said quarterly rebalance. What? Let's see here. Oh, come on. Okay, so SMCI. That's right. SMCI, Deckers Outdoor. Okay. I remember now. It all came back to me. So there's your catalyst for SMCI. All right, so let's look for Palantir to the downside. This is good stuff. So let me write that down, and I wrote down the short idea. I'm actually just going to put a star there. I'll know what I mean when I go back to it tomorrow. That Palantir is on the list. I think that's what brought in a lot of this volume, was not just the earnings, but the fact that they could be indicted into the S&P 500 for being profitable. I remember that. Wow. All right, so that's my idea, guys. I want to see if we can start to break this level now. Now we have a negative catalyst. We have a negative catalyst. What else do we have? Look at this. We have room. Look at all this room we have for the downside. If we can just get below 23.50, look at that. That's a sharp move to the downside, guys, at $20. I'm looking to get short Palantir. I'm going to get short Palantir. I love the company, but if I get this short, I'm going to tell you guys right now, if I get short and this trade does work out, I'm going to give it some time, and I'm going to wait, obviously, for a bounce back. And if I sense that it's in a hurry, I'm going to look to just get short and look for the 9 EMA cut, that 24 level to just be able to break, 20-day moving average to break on a bounce back to 24. And I'm going to look to get it down into that $20 level, $21, $20 level. And then I'm going to take those profits and I'm going to buy more stock of it, okay, as it pulls back. All right. So I think Palantir is going to be a good name to watch. People are going to forget about that. So you have Boeing from Friday with SPR, I think it was, right? SPR with Space Aero, whatever, that they're going to go to them for quality control. This is a nice move here. It's got some room to run. That's the point, right? What is going to give us momentum? And when I say that is like, if you're new, you may not understand this, but if a stock has if it's in an area where it's just went like moving sideways and there's a lot of buyers and sellers, it's hard for it to give you the momentum unless it has news. SPR, like there's not much you guys can see there's not much for anybody that's new here. You have to forgive me. There's not too much right here. You have some consolidation there. That's okay. But really it would be like here, right? There's not much going on up there if you get up through that area. That's probably a bad one to use, but still. So Palantir, big one that's going to be on the list for me this week, guys. Big one on the list. Double top up there. I think, look, you're getting the 50-day to move right up to $20. We put it, I love it. I like this. I like it. I like Palantir for the short. Let's do it. Let's keep it moving. SMCI. There we go. It's all coming back to us 2 hours later. I don't want to make this too long because whoever watches it back is going to be like, holy shit. SMCI. Let's look what it did Friday. Oh, look at that. And you can see how much that meant to this name. SMCI. Let's look for the pullback. $1,000. All right. I am not scared to get long this name because I know it's not trading at a crazy valuation. You're paying a premium, yes, but you're not paying a crazy premium like people think. They're getting the dollar amount confused with, stock splits and everything. Oh, it shouldn't be up there. It's 1,000. Like, that doesn't mean anything. All right. According to their earnings, okay, this thing's trading at like 30 right now it's probably like 35 times earnings. Okay. That's not too crazy with a PE of that. All right. What is the market cap for this? Let's look at that. I want to see that because this is going to help us if we decide to trade this. SMCI. Let's go to all SMCI. Market cap of 50 billion. Where's the earnings at? Okay, right here. No. A PE, price to earnings. Oh shit, 70. Oh snap. 6 months. It's a double top up there. 1 year. 5 year. Does that, man? I remember you. Damn, that's so crazy. Yep, let's do it. Back. Okay, and yes, it is a big week for China. All right, SMCI. I would like to have a pullback to $1,000, 996 area. See if we can take it higher. I think you're going to come in with a gap up because of the introduction to the S&P 500. Okay, so obviously there's a nice catalyst there, guys. All right, if we could hit the like button, guys. Subscribe. It'll help others find us. It'd be great. Greatly appreciated. It's just a one-man army here right now. And more importantly, somebody else that doesn't know about us will find us, and hopefully we can help save them some money and help them get on a path to being profitable and successful at this, because you can like it's possible. All right, it really is. You just have to make the right decisions. It's about the decisions you make. All right, so that's Palantir. We have energy. Wait, let's not get off track. I was on to something there. Let's go back to the news. Let's see here. Palantir misses out because there was more stuff here. Oh, Zion. They are getting ejected. Okay, so Zion Bancorp. You can look at KRE as well. All right, they're getting... Oh, look at that level, guys. Oh, God, this is hot. Now we're on it. We have just found the gold mine. The thing is I feel like they might take this from us, and I don't like that. All right, they might take this from us bright and early, and we're going to come in with a gap down. Oh, man. If we could get that bounce back and turn $38 into resistance, boy, oh, boy, do we have a trade on our hands. And just to let you guys know, this retail bank, Zion, is pretty liquid in the options chain, by the way. It doesn't have crazy spreads. It might be a little spready tomorrow because you may have a lot of people trying to play this. So you're breaking the 100-day. All right, I'd look to turn that 100-day moving average into resistance. Something like this, right? See, we broke it. Okay. And then I want to look for like the bounce. Really, I want to make $38. So I'm writing this down right now. Zion Bank. Z-I-O-N. Zion Bank. I'm looking for a rejection of $38. Okay, 38. Let's see. If they take it from us, what do we have? What do we have to work with here? Even though this thing's a bit oversold, be prepared. It is oversold a little bit here. $37. Okay, you have a level there at 37. All right, 37. And then you have the 200-day moving average. That's about it. All right, so, and the 200-day moving average, see, no, shit. Yeah, 35. Just above 30. It's like 35.50. Safe to say that. Damn, that sucks. 36. That's it. Final answer, Judge. Final answer. 36. 36. Let's see if we can break 37. Get us a test of 36 with the 200-day moving average. I'm going to take a few days to play this. I want to see how bad they take this thing. Even though it's oversold, I still feel like with it being ejected out of the S&P, that's shining light on this thing that, it's not doing so hot. So I'd like to take this thing down a little bit further. Now listen, you may have to give it a couple days for the market to just like get people to forget about it. And look at that level there. Wow, massive level at 39.80. We turn that into resistance. Yup, you just turn that into resistance. Let's do it. This is another one, man. What a gold mine we just came upon with that stuff. 35.50. All right. Short, 38 short. 35.50. 36 to 35.50. 38 short. Target is 35.50. 36. 35.50. We'll go through more in the morning. Let's make sure we have room, and we do. Look, we have nothing. You have nothing until 33. I just think you're going to stop at the 200-day. I don't think it's just going to give you 33. It might. There might be some more news. All right. I just think you have some support here at 36. If 36 doesn't hold, then look here. Right? This would be the range. That's where she's headed. And this is, in my opinion, the top part of the range. So I'm looking to get to that top part of that range, right up there at 36, 35.50 with the 200-day. And then, if you break this over time and then turn the 200-day into resistance and 36, then you look for that big $5 move down to 30 bucks. So that's how I'm planning this out. All right, that's how I'm planning it out. Trend line, remove that. All right, so that's another trade. And I think those are a couple good ones there. Unless you guys have anything you guys want to look at. CrowdStrike has earnings, so like those names I'm not really going to be watching. We can look at like Walmart and stuff for Target and Costco. They have earnings. All right, Walmart did the I think the last day was this week that you could have bought. So they had that 3-to-1 split. It was last Monday, I think, actually. So now you have a stock split here, man. Walmart's nice and cheap now. Wow, it's crazy. I think I got a nibble on some for the, to hold it for the next 10, 15, 20 years, even though it's at highs. We'll see if it can give us a pullback. I don't know, though. I don't know if it will. It's kind of enticing to have something do this. You have support here at 59. All right, that's Walmart. All right, Asia news. All right, China news, guys. I'm telling you guys, there's news all over the damn place. Real quick, actually, Shopify. I want to make sure I don't have anything crazy up here. I just want to make sure there's no. If you guys hear sound in the background, let me know. So Alibaba, we've been keeping our eye on Baba. Or no, I'm on Shopify right now, but I will go to Alibaba. Look at Shopify. This could be a nice trade too. Hold up. It's getting late, so I do want to cut out of here. Yes, there's not much up here. That's a rejection of that level. Right there. That prior support level, you guys can see it here at 90 bucks. Come on. Oh, that's why it got stuck. Alright. So, you have a nice rejection up here. You tried to break above 90 bucks and it quickly rejected. That's a huge gap down on earnings. So, earnings weren't too great on Shopify. That's a bummer. We got to look for 70 bucks. $69, $70 is the bottom end of that range there. That support level, previous resistance. And I think we're setting ourselves up to get it. So what I want to look for is the break of 75. Dude, we are on a roll right now. Guess what? Somebody's going to watch this and they're going to get tired because it was so long, but they're not going to know the best is at the last. They're not going to understand the gold mine that we just dug ourselves into. This is the work that's got to be put in, guys. And I'm just doing what I would do any other time, but I'm doing it with you guys. And I hope you guys are writing this stuff down because I'm going to be attacking. I am setting my mind on having a wonderful month. I'm going to make the best decision that I can possibly make. I'm going to cut my losses if it doesn't work out. I'm going to enter correctly. If I miss that entry, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go. All right? Maybe it gives me another shot at getting back in it. All right, Shopify. We have not much there. All right, we have some volume coming in. All right, so let's do this. All right, let's look at this daily chart up close. We're going to dissect this. I still haven't went over Amazon and Google yet. What was the other name? I already forgot. Baba. I got to write it down. Baba, Amazon, and Google. And then we'll be out of here. If you guys have anything, throw it in the chat. If you guys have a question, even just saying thanks. That, hitting the like button really helps. It doesn't just help. It doesn't help me. It helps someone else find us. Right? This is about being able to help others that don't have thousands of fucking dollars to just waste and help someone else live their best life while they're sitting there struggling, trying to learn how to read the markets and be able to do something in their life. That's the whole purpose of why I do this. All right. The reason I also do this is because I'm trying to build something here. And, hopefully I can get it to that stage where, there's, 3 other traders alongside and we have a real show going on. And that's my hopes. All right. That is my hopes. So liking, subscribing would really help us get there. So you saw the rejection of this. So we're consolidating right now. The markets were what Friday? And this is also key of weakness. The markets were what? I'm asking you guys, what were the markets Friday? Where did the markets close? I want to see if you guys know what I'm seeing and the difference in what Shopify is showing us. Hold on one second. You guys have an idea of what I'm looking at? The markets did what Friday, and what did Shopify do? NASA SpaceX Crew 8 mission. Alright, I don't know. I'm not sure. NVIDIA. Let's see here. Okay. You guys left. Alright, okay. The markets closed green. Alright, the markets closed green. And what did Shopify do? It closed red. Alright. Shopify closed red. Man, that's a damn shame that nobody's here. That's a damn shame, but it's all good. Hopefully somebody else out there finds this and is able to benefit from it. So, 70... I'm going to look to get that trade line. Let's see here. Man, I wonder if it could give us the 50-day. Alright. Boom. Let's see. Gap up, down. Pulls back. Gets bought up. On lower volume. Pulls back. 75. Bounces. You come in with the gap up. And it either pulls back and goes higher and closes red. Or closes green, but it pulls back. End of the day. Closes green. Comes in with a gap up. It tries to go higher. That's the hit that they were looking for up there at 78.85. And then it closes red with a little bit of buying pressure there. So 77. Sorry, I'm just pretty much I am just being a doctor at work here. And that's what it looks like. And that's what it looks like. And what did we see what was the so we did it, man, what a gold mine. Like seriously, we just dug ourselves into a freaking gold mine here. That's hilarious. Very end of the stream and we get into a gold mine. Give me this. Give me this. Give me this. And this is why it's important to dot your I's, and cross your T's. Come on, bro. What are you doing, dude? Yeah. Fuck. The messed up part about this is I think it may try to give us another bounce. Oddly. I would like to try and get it down. I don't know how this trades as far... Like, if I had to go through volume and... You know, I need to get that bounce back. Like, what would be awesome is if we got a gap up. Or if we were able to get a gap up and get it like 77.18. I am going to look for... You know what I'm going to do? See, I can't even say yesterday's close. I can't even say the close. Possibly high a day? Or is it going to give us the 50-day test? Is it going to give us that 50-day test? Let's see here. Let's look. I feel like I'm missing something here, and that is the weekly chart. Because you can see the quick rejection, right? Once it broke out of that 78.50 or 78 level, it broke it, but then boom, took it right back on an increase in volume. Um, I think it might give us that 50-day one more time. It can remain oversold for a little bit, but I feel like it's telling us that it's going to bounce, and then on that bounce is when we're going to be able to get the short. So I think we might be a little bit early, but the earnings on this were awful. Obvious something's going on with Shopify, obviously with the earnings. But what did I just read? What did we just read? Oh well, whatever. Snap reportedly plans to lay off. So Snap is reportedly to lay off 20%. Or just weeks that the CEO closed the deal for 120 million mansion. Yo, that's such a not a good look. Goldman Sachs raises the price target to 75. See, and that's those bastards. It's funny. I'm just gonna keep my eye on Shopify. I am. I think you're gonna get I think you're gonna get a bounce. I'm showing deep. What's that stock trying to name? Best day it's past. 3-1. Retailers one more time. Name trends researched. All right. I gotta be honest. I want to try for another 79 short on Shopify if we get it. Shopify gets up to $79. That's my target. $79. I'm saying it right now. This is going to be my short. All right, 79, because I think we can get it. For some reason, I think we can get another shot, or the 9 EMA. You know what? I'll look for. Let's see where we open up tomorrow, and we'll look for that 9 EMA on a daily, which would probably be close to like tomorrow, depending on where we open. It's just tough, man. This is a really nice rejection up there at 78. And you could see Friday it blasted through. The point is, the market closed green. Hell of a day in the markets. What'd Shopify do? Closed red. Bad earnings. It's under the 50-day. It's consolidating here. If we can just break 75, this thing has room. I'm telling you right now, it's got a lot of room to the downside. There's nothing in its way as far as price action. Look, this whole area, all the way down to the prior support at 70 to 60. What is that? 65? $65. It's got room all the way down here to that previous. Yep, look, and there it is. And there it is. So these are going to be my targets. All right. Right there. Wait, should be right there. Yeah, right there. 67. We're going to call it 67. Fuck. You know what? I'm going to watch it. Tomorrow, I'm watching the 9 EMA. Okay. I'm going to watch and see where we open up on Shopify. Because you're trying to bounce now. Right? You can see after hours it bounced. See what the markets do. Shopify's closing red. It's obviously weak. So what I think we need is is when the markets start to pull back for whatever reason, whether it's because the government might go into a shutdown. All right, they're coming days into shutting down. All right, they're not getting it done. If they don't, you start if they don't have a deal done by like Thursday going into Friday, I think that's what's going to help us. All right, it's just going to be a volatile week. I'm going to tell you right now. There's all kinds of shit going on. I'm watching the 9 EMA on the daily chart. I'm watching the 50-day. I'm watching for the market. I'm watching for Shopify to, if Shopify can't get back up above 77, then there you go. 77 is going to be my entry. What I'll probably do with this, look, there's some sirens going on. I hope everybody's okay. Something's going on around my way. If you know, see, like, it looks like it's trying to hold this area of support. You got a quick rejection. I'll look for the next bounce, right? I'll look for like 77.50. I think Shopify, I want to wait for the market though. I think if we get the market on our back and Shopify is like up here somewhere, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with this right here, 77.50. I'm going with 77.50. All right, 77.50, 77.65 area. If we can't break up through there, then I'm looking for the short. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that or not. It's an ambulance. All right, so that's my area. All right, write it down. Keep an eye on it. I'm giving it to you on a silver platter right now. Might not be Monday, might not be Tuesday. Maybe the end of the week or something. We'll see. Let's look at Amazon and Google real quick. Let's go to Google. So shop. Let me write it down. Let me go back real quick. Well, I already know. I can always do it tomorrow. Hold on one second. Let me write this down. 77.50, right? 77.50 slash 50 day short. And what do we need real quick from Shopify? What do we need to break? We needed to break 75. We needed to break 75. Yeah, you know what? I think we're going to get it. 80 bucks. I'm sorry. Take it back. Look at that. You guys see what I see? You haven't tested $80 yet. Let me do it. Let me do a 30-minute chart. And now you can really see all that support level there. Let's see if this makes it easier for you. I think we found it, guys. All right, 80 bucks. Let's see if we can get a bounce to $80 and then take the short. All right, you guys can see here, look, resistance, resistance, support, support, resistance, support, 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 support. We broke it. We have not tested it yet. So what I would look for, all right, what I'm going to look for is a bounce back up into that $80 level. All right, 79.50, 80 bucks. I'm looking to get short. All right, we got to break above 78 though. All right, so could play it a couple different ways. We could look for like a little pullback at like 76 long. A long at 76. See if we can't take it up to 80 and then take the profits. Roll those profits into a short up at 80 in the 50-day moving average. Let me write that down. That's a little bit more technical. But let me scratch some of this out real quick. So Shopify. All right, and I'm going to dwindle these down to the best names again though. What do we have? 75, 76. So we have a see, I don't think we'll get 76 though. We'll probably get like 77. 77 long to 80. To 80 slash 50-day moving average. And then $80 77, wait, no, 79. Yeah, 79.50. I still think it's 80. But 79.50 rejection short. And that's going to be the big trade for me. If we get it. All right, it's a bit overdone. You may even get the long back up to like 80, 80, 81, 82. All right, this thing has sold off. You know, you could put in that lower high, fill the gap. Maybe we look for I'm changing everything right now. I'm going to look for that gap fill up at like 80, 50. Let's see if we can't get Shopify back up into that area. I'm going to look for the long up to 80 bucks, 79.95, and I'm going to get short. That's all it is, gang. All right. So I'm going to take that box away. You just have to be prepared that this rejection up here, when you went off the opening bell, let's dig into that candle right there. Let's go to a 5-minute and see where the volume really was. Right? So off of the bell, you had a nice rally off the bell. You pulled it back. You immediately pulled it back. So we know that off the bell at, call it 77, you had some buyers. Okay? You had some buyers. All right? This is how you be a doctor with trading and understand what it is that you're doing. I just figured my plan out. All right? 77.50 long. This area here, if we can reclaim it and hold 77, I'm going long to like 81 up to that 50-day. I think we can get above the 50-day. And then it breaks above it. It'll try to hold the 50-day, and then that breaks. That'll bring everything. Man, I'm just telling y'all. Just let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. Yeah, green, red, green. Man, that's a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5 minutes were green. And that's what we seen was that tail there. Why did I just do that? So you saw there on that 5-minute. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Shit. Hold on 1 second. I know. I got to turn Bloomberg down. Yeah, that's the tail. Kinda. So that's a nice green candle on the 5-minute. Let's see here. I want to cut this stream real quick. I want to get off. I didn't want to make it this long, but I did. 3-6, bang. 2 minutes. I mean, this is useless. There's no reason to be doing this. Wait. Look at that. Look. Look. There you go. 77 long. That's a beaut. This is gonna be a really nice trade. All right, and I'm gonna look for small profits to take off, and then I'm getting short up there. I'm getting short up here at the 50-day, $80, and you know what? It might even be like 81 or so. That's my plan, guys. That is my plan with Shopify. I'm ready. I am ready. I do want to see what we do at 80. If we get through 80, then I think we could get up to like 80, 83.30, 83.40, 82.50 actually. I know I'm changing it up, but not really. I'm going to look to get long up into this area here and put in a lower high. This is what I'm looking for, right? I bounce up into here. It tries to hold the 50-day, which is that red box. Maybe it tries, and then it fails, and then it retests, right? And by that time, it's gotten up into this area. It takes a daily RSI higher, and then we finally get the weakness we're looking for in time. That's exactly the move I'm looking for. So we'll see what happens, and we'll come back to this and see if I called it. Or not called it, but, you know, the probability of this all happening is pretty damn high. All right, so we look for a break of 78. We hold 78, and we look to take it back up to like 82, put in a lower high, and then maybe it sits in the range just a little bit. You know, that's it. That's all she wrote. And then we look for the downside. So I think the short is coming on Shopify, which in time, what does that line up with to bring the markets down to help us with that trade? All right, we'll look at Amazon real quick. Because I do have Amazon on my watch because it finally broke out of that range. We talked about Tesla, Nvidia, AMD, SMCI. I didn't talk about ARM. But what we'll do is throughout the week, we'll just look to see which names are a little bit weaker, even though I have a list here. Like, I have a pretty solid list for up names, down names. You know, for the up moves, down moves, everything. I'm pretty much good to go. And then I'll play whatever earnings we have, stuff like that. And whatever other news like separates during the day as we watch, you know, Shopify, AI for a 36 hold. All right, let's do this real quick. And if you guys could hit the like button. I don't know who's here. If anybody's here, welcome. If you could like the stream, comment down below. Could you give us a list of names, stocks? What are some things you're watching? What are some things you're wanting to work on? Are you new at trading? Are you a professional, or have you been doing this for a while? All that stuff. We do trade live right here on this channel, Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. So we'll come on 7 o'clock, whatever. Talk about the news, upgrades, downgrades, what we want to look at for the day, what we think about the day. Again, it's going to be hard to call it this week because I think we're going to get a lot of up and down moves throughout the week, depending on the data, depending on Powell, initial jobless claims, non-farm payroll, blah, blah, blah. You guys know the deal. All right, so we have a gap up, nice little double bottom here. AI's got to get above 36. We look for the 36 break and a break to that high at 38. So a 36 hold. TP 38. All right. Did I not make that a resistance level at 38? Come on, dude. What are you doing? Let's see real quick, guys. And I'm going right to Amazon and Google. I'm just going to put this here so I see it tomorrow. All right. Take profit long. 38. See if I can get through there first. What am I doing? Where is the T? It's getting late. I don't think 38 is going to break. I think we could actually, you know what, the more I'm looking at this, I'm actually going to take this off. I think that's why I didn't write it down. I think I might change my thesis on AI. Actually, I might look for some downside on AI. I think I might look for 36 short. Yeah, I think I want to look for like a 35, 50, 36 short on AI. 36, 35, 50 short. 34 break. And break 34. Alright. See if we can't get that gap fill. My bad, guys. I'm sorry. My bad. Alright, we got to keep it moving. Keep it moving. Looking for 34 to break. You got some support down there at the lower 30s. See if you don't just start putting in a range a little bit here until it figures out what it wants to do. It put in a double bottom. Like this level of 34 is held. You know, I think it breaks. I think it could break. Yeah. 34 break. Target's going to be 32 on AI. All right. Google. Let's go to Google and then Amazon and we're out of here. Unless you guys have questions, I'll stay and take those or tickers you guys have. You guys throw them out and we'll cover them. Finding the best setups. All right. I'm going to dwindle these down to the best setups too. Like depending on what we wake up to and what news we wake up to and all this and all that. Man, look at Google. That's like a pretty damn... That's a solid rejection of the 100-day. I don't know. I think it's going to hold here at 138, honestly. Because it didn't break down further. Like it had a down day, yes, and the market was green. So that's a sign. But it looks like this level here. Sorry, I had to redo it because of the way my monitor was. Fuck, I didn't look at Baba either. You guys got to remember, there's a lot of China stuff coming out. There's a lot of stuff getting ready to come out with China, and their second big. It's going to be even bigger, I guess. Their stimulus. You know, if you weren't here earlier, we covered all that news, but I do got to look at Baba. Man, if it breaks, we could look for a 200-day moving average to hold. I'm going to wait and see where Google opens up, because I wouldn't be surprised if it just consolidates here and we play the range. Excuse me, I'm sorry. If we play the range from 137, 137.50, all right, 137.50 range up to 142, 141.75. It's got to be up here. I'm going to make... I kind of like that. It's rough. It's consolidating. What can I say? What's that, 142? Yeah, 142. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. So I would look for this range as long as it holds. That's it. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. All right, let's go to an hourly chart. You're getting an increase in volume though. That's the thing. That is the thing. Yeah, see if you can't pull it back. Yeah, you might pull it back to like 137.08. Yeah, that dotted line. 137.59. 137. And see if it bounces again. I think you're just going to get some chop in here. Yeah, there's a lot of chop in here. You can tell. You can tell. Look at it. It's right there. I could tell too. I'm like, hey, hold up. This thing's going to bounce. But it's also not going to go anywhere on the bounce. So Google's not a play for me. To me, you know, unless you can break above 140, you break above 140, you know, you got to trade there. But you got to grab it down at 137, 136.50 if you get it. So, let me get rid of this. You know what? I'm not going to get rid of that. Even though I might. Hold up. I got to get up out of here. I got to get up out of here. I got to get to bed. Actually, with doing all this work, I might be able to sleep in just a little bit and get up at like 6. Alright, yeah, it's 11. So, watch Google at 140. Alright, 140. And sorry, I know I keep flipping back and forth, but I need to see the wider range. Damn, that sucks, because you're turning that into resistance. Maybe this is your bottoming pattern here. Yeah. Look for 136. If anybody's wanting to watch Google, I'm not sure what it's going to give you other than, you know, be a buyer at 137, 137.50. And see if you can break above 140. So, I'm just going to write it down even though I won't be playing it because I don't think it's going to give you that, I don't think it's going to give you the move you're looking for. It's not going to give you any momentum. So, unless there's news, I'm going to write it down just in case there's news. But like 137 long and see if you can break up through 140. To 140 break. All right. That's Google. All right. Now Amazon. I think Amazon would be a better play. I do. For a few reasons. There's a few reasons why I think Amazon would be better. All right. I was actually surprised how well it got through this area. It got through it pretty quick. I guess that earnings really helped. Um, you have resistance up there at 180. All right, there's resistance up there at 180 that I'd be watching out for. It. Let me actually go back because I like the way I saw it here. Shit. How did I see it? Where did I see it? They're talking about Rihanna's thing on Bloomberg. I guess they got somebody that knows the one rich guy in India. They have him on. Yeah, I'm just gonna say 180, guys. Sorry. All right, 180 on Amazon. We don't have much in our way. Dude, this sucks. I hate when this happens. It just stinks, man, because, you know, you just... Yeah, I'm going to see if this is our new range. I want to look for a pullback to 175.50. That double top on Amazon. Going to look for this pullback here, 175.50. AMZN. Dude, I got a whole page of watch list this whole week. I'm going to be on it, y'all. 175.50. I'm really going to just... You guys have no idea. You will if you come join us. Ivy League Trading, YouTube.com. We trade live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. All we ask is you hit that like button and subscribe. We're doing a giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. 175.50 hold. Long to 180. Okay. The thing is also, if we break, I'm going to delete this. No, I don't want to delete that. Yes, I do want to delete that. No, I don't know what I want to do. And look, we made that a 3, and it really started to rip. And that a 2, right off of those major levels, we called it. That's why I don't like taking some of my stuff off. If we break, if Amazon can't hold, then you always could look for the break back down through 176 and a 174 test. 174.50 test. I'm just not sure if you're going to get that. This is the breakout. It did hold. It pulled back already. So you already had a retest of that double top. Bang, bang. And then it pulled back and actually put in a double bottom and solidified 176 as support. If the market continues higher, even if we just have like a small, like a day where we just grind a little bit higher, look for Amazon to grind higher with it. The market was green. The market rallied Friday. What did Amazon do? Same thing. And I mean, this is a perfect setup, just like the markets too. Like you guys see this resistance level, how it broke up and it just pulled right on down into it. Bang. Like you got to get those. You got to get those. Those are the trades you can't miss, right? It's a perfect bull flag. It's a breakthrough resistance, pulls back and retests that level. You take the long, you get buy orders down there, like put it there. Like right now, if I, like honestly, if I had the chance and Amazon pulled back, which I don't think it's going to anymore. I would say, I don't think it's going to, but it's a nice double top. Like, if it were to break and pull back to 175 long, that would be awesome. 175, 175.50, that's where I'd be long. Or watch for the break. Alright, that's all I got, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I'll see you guys bright early in the morning. Hit that like button. Subscribe. That's my watch list. Took me 2 hours. I love you guys. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers. I know we can do it. Anybody that watches this live stream all the way back in full, God bless you. You're trying to do this is what it takes to do what it does, and you're doing what it does. Have a great night, guys. I'll see you guys bright and early. Shout out to you who stuck through the whole stream. Have a great night, guys.